Welcome into beautiful Des Moines, Iowa for round 1 of the Discmania Challenge presented by TruBank. Ganon Buhr is looking to go 3 in a row on tour and at his hometown event. Does he get off to a hot day 1 start? We'll find out live on the Disc Golf Network. And we are getting right into the action at Pickard Park. Ezra Aderhold on 18 to get to 13 under. And also for your clubhouse lead. Not the finish he wanted, but a great day for Aderhold. Clean 12. Ellis started with a bogey, but caught fire after that. Here he is on 14. I guess the green flag is where he ended up. It's just a moment ago. And slides home another birdie. A heck of a day for Ellis through 14. No pars, 2 bogeys, the rest birdies on a heater. Let's go back to the green of 18 for Calvin Heimberg. It is a birdie putt and to get to 13. A solo lead and he gets it from the woods. Nice putt. And your clubhouse leader, Calvin Heimberg. And funny enough, he was your NXT bets over under at 8.5, looking real good right now, sitting at 1. You can play NXT bets /play DGPT. Hop on over. Not available in all jurisdictions. Make sure you check that. And a look at your Innova Hot Rounds. Heimberg at the top, along with some familiar faces. And welcome to the booth, your host, Ian Anderson, Major Champion Philo Brathwaite over there. We got to talk about the hometown hero, Ganon Buhr, Philo.
Yeah, world number 1 doing world number 1 things, isn't he?
He sure is.
Yeah, that performance over at the Preserve all-time event round rating, that's pretty special, man. I guess when you're world number 1, you have the luxury of chasing after those exclusive, stats like that. That's pretty cool for him.
He said he reminded you of somebody else with that kind of eyes on history, right?
Yeah, I remember when Paul Macbeth, after he won his Worlds, I believe it was Charlotte Worlds, in his acceptance speech talking about chasing history and going after the guys with all the records, and he did his work with that for a good minute. Now Ganon Buhr in a similar position, ranked number 1, been playing really well the last few seasons. And he's been, able to look at some other things besides just winning tournaments. Maybe there's some other goals that he's trying to take down, and he seems to have a pretty long list, and he's checking things off the box one at a time. Checking boxes.
It was kind of a perfect storm here at the Preserve where he got his round 1 off, and then everyone else had to play in the rain. So he had that little kind of round 1 cushion, but he didn't really need it.
No, he's playing really, really exceptional disc golf, and look at that, man, 1088.
Wow, the highest rated event of all time. And Ganon Buhr had some thoughts after his win at the Preserve. Let's hear those.
The record I was looking at, there was 2 of them. I think it was biggest margin of victory, and it was 12. And come on, Corey, he made that putt to make it 11. And then the other one would be the highest event rating of all time. And I think I might have got it with that, or at least maybe tied it, something like that. We'll see what happens. Obviously, the ratings aren't official until next month, so we'll see what happens.
I can tell you in my ear, I just heard confirmation, 1088 for your rating. It is unofficial, but it gives you a margin in case things adjust a point or two. You've got that record. What's it feel like to have your name on a list just above Ricky Wysocki's for highest highest event rating ever? What's that feel like?
That's crazy. Hopefully I can get the record here. It's going to be really tough to break, yeah, I'm just very pleased with how I played this weekend.
And we are going to bring in our man, Terry Miller. And Terry, I got to ask you, when was the first time you got eyes on Ganon Buhr? Did you have an inkling he would be this good?
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I was just thinking about 2017 was probably the first time I met him at the Junior Worlds taking place in the Quad Cities, not too far from here, actually. But it wasn't until 2019 when he won yet another Junior Worlds title, and he was already talking about becoming the youngest to get to 1,000 rated. I believe he was 986 at the time that he won that Worlds. It was just 2 months later, that was July, 2 months later or so is when he got to that 1,000 rating. So when we talk about someone that's very conscious and aware of records and things that they're trying to accomplish, that was something that was on his mind way back, and that was 2019 when I saw him in Emporia. So he knows what he's doing, and he's always going to be chasing those records at this point.
With you there. Terry, how are the conditions on the ground? It was a little humid. It seemed like the temperature was starting to rise throughout the day. How you faring, my man?
Yeah, it was a little bit more comfortable this morning. It's certainly heating up. It's around 85 right now. I was just talking to Anthony Barella a few moments ago, and he's like, it's not too bad out. He's like, but I can feel the moisture in the air. And I said, well, it's going to increase this afternoon and get even more so tomorrow. So he's used to playing in Arizona heat, of course, but he can feel that moisture in the air that's today. I think the number one thing, though, is there's very little wind. There's almost no wind to speak of. That's why I think we're seeing so many great scores. The FPO division was doing some great scoring this morning, and I think we're going to see that continue throughout this afternoon.
Well, Terry, that leads me to my last question. Is this course too easy? They're lighting it up right now.
No, I learned from the great Nate Sexton back in 2016 when we visited BRP, which he'll be playing in a few weeks for the Masters Worlds. That I'm not going to go out there and call it too soft, so to speak. But it was something interesting that Ty Tanat, our tournament director, said yesterday during the Creators Challenge. He said, we know that this course isn't the most difficult on tour. He said, we really also want to make it so much of the fan experience while they're out there. The fans are turning out, they're walking around these beautiful lush fairways, having a good time so far. Obviously they're being treated to a great show. Things got a little tighter on hole 1. I'm excited to see some of those changes as they've lengthened that tee pad, made things tighter on the OB, and added a couple of Mandos and a hazard area. So we'll be excited to see how they attack hole 1, but I'm not going to go out on any limbs and call this too soft.
We tried to bait you, Terry. You didn't fall for it. You're too smart for that. Corey Ellis, he's on 15, his second after a really nice drive.
Oh, this is ideal. Up on top of the hill. Just under 300 feet left for Corey. Just needs something straight. Hang it up on the high right side. You don't want it dripping to the left. It gets pretty thick.
Throw it, Corey. Come on, dude.
Looks like he sawed it off a little, but nice little ground play. Checks up nice. Should be another birdie for Ellis.
Trying to chase down one Calvin Heimberg. He's just 3 back right now with a chance to close that gap.
How about that? Bogey's on the card as well.
No pars.
No pars.
A quick break on the network. We'll be back to the action in just a few.
Hi, my name is Galkin, and I use LG backpack card. I use LG back card because I can put my grip bag in and out so easily. From like so heavy in your bag, and then you use a card, and you not feel any pressure on your back. Hallelujah, you know. The more option is better. Everything in your life, right? Like you eat burger to the steak. That's how I feel. Backpack, no backpack, boom. This is the answer right here.
Hey, aren't you Anthony Barella?
Yes, sir. Try out this Venom.
Thanks, man.
Man, this is the best disc ever. It goes 1,000 feet
Hey,
easily.
hurry up, man. You're taking forever.
Sorry, man. No 30-second rule here. What about that 100% off player discount?
The Discmania Challenge is presented by Discmania. Reinvent your game. And TruBank. We make banking easy. We're heading back to Corey Ellis, putting for birdie on 15. This looks a little closer than it actually is, as you'll see here. A little closer to circle's edge than bullseye. Just to get within 2.
Bang, bang. Corey Ellis, parlous on the day. Unbelievable stretch here for Corey Ellis.
Heard some strong words from Philo a couple years back. Got that putt in shape. I don't know if you remember that. Myrtle Beach.
I do vaguely
Yep.
remember a little comment.
Yep.
I see a lot of my action in Corey Ellis's action there on the putting surface. Can't say the same off the tee. I wish I could.
Seriously, huh? That dude moves a disc.
Okay, here we go with our second feature card for the 2025 DGPT Discmania Challenge, sponsored by TruBank. First on the tee pad, a PDGA member since 2001 from Satsuma, Alabama. Please welcome Matt Oram.
Classic patio slice off the first. In position.
He plays well here. Finished second last year.
Yeah, he was the runner-up.
And now teeing
And
off,
hot.
a PDGA member since 2005 from Huntington Beach, California, Paul Macbeth. Next, in the tee box, PDGA member since 2015 from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Silas Schultz.
Yeah! Woo! Sounds zippy coming out of that hill.
Yeah, that thing is ripped from Silas out there in the high left side of the fairway.
And
Looking
rounding
good.
out our second feature card, a PDGA member since 2008 from Boulder, Colorado. Please welcome Eagle McMahon.
safe off the tee, and they're headed up the fairway. Down there on the green, that's our man, Terry Miller with Silas Schultz. All yours, Terry.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Joined by Silas Schultz. Silas, a little bit of a change-up on hole one. Let's start there.
First of all, it's good to see you, Terry.
You too, buddy.
A little bit of a change-up. Yeah, it's playing a little bit shorter, but you got to hit the gap. So getting some good distance off the tee while making it clean right through the gap is pretty much all you need to get up and down, hopefully.
Well, you got a round in here yesterday. Of course, I'm talking about the Creators Challenge that was here. Broderick and you partnered up. It was a close battle. What's kind of the takeaway from the experience you had last night out here at the park?
Good question, Terry. Yeah, no, it's been, it was probably one of the most fun disc golf events I've played in a very long time. It's probably second to none as far as the energy. So, yeah, shout out Cinema Club. We had a great run. Honestly, my partner Broderick, go follow him. He played about as good as any creator could have been asked to play. And I kind of dropped the ball there, Terry, on number 3. So a great time nonetheless, but maybe not the best practice round, but had a lot of fun, yeah.
All right. Well, is he going to have any tips or tricks for you? What did you guys talk about before today's round?
In preparation for this, you mean?
Yeah.
Man, just we're going to keep the energy light and as it was yesterday. And, man, it's a nice day in the park today, Terry. Hopefully sun doesn't get you too bad, but I'm here for the heat.
All right, go get it, buddy. Good luck.
Great conversation between those two, and Terry was talking about his Creators Challenge. Wow. And I was driving during this, I missed it. This is fun, Philo.
Oh, Des Moines got some awesome fans, man.
Wow.
Being a resident of the area, in the area for a few years,
where weren't ya?
there's a great disc golf community out there, and you're going to see them show up this weekend for sure.
Macbeth throwing 2 on 1.
Look at that shot shaping, Ian.
Sneaks
Just
it.
shallow circle 2. Maybe a little blocked out, but a good effort from Macbeth.
This is hole 16.
That's a common occurrence.
You can see how hard it is. Corey Ellis is headed there shortly. McMahon throwing 2 on 1. Goes to the sidearm.
Also ends up out in circle 2. Open look. Uphill flavor.
And Corey Ellis. Hoping for a better result than his card mate.
Got it started on the right line. Look at this, Ian. Never left. Should get some wood chips. All right, into circle 1.
That was
Opportunity again for Corey Ellis to keep it parlous on the afternoon.
cool. In a good way.
In a great way.
Mostly anyway. 2 bogeys, not bad at all. Schultz, his second on 1. Also goes to the turnover along with Macbeth.
Ooh, that looks a little low, Ian.
Sure does.
I think that got in there. No, I think that's in the hazard.
It's sometimes tough to tell. I thought Burge was in it this morning and ended up not. Terry, do you have any word for us on that Schultz second? Is it in the hazard?
Yeah, he ultimately got a yellow flag, meaning he's in the hazard. He'll get the penalty stroke, but putt from there.
Copy. Oram.
He put the appropriate height on that flex shot, Ian. That thing had time to unravel, and look at that on the bullseye for Matt Oram.
Second place last year. He's looking for 1 this year. Off to a good start. Let's roll back a Zuka replay.
Tell you what, Ian, one of the hardest things to learn and to really own is the height on those Anheuser's. A lot of people rip those things over and get that nose pointed down to the ground a little too fast. Matt Oram showing you how to do it textbook style right there on the first.
Man, on the FPO side this morning, Cadence Burge, her turnover game was beyond her years, man. It was really impressive. Manio says, I got one of those too. Birdie putt for Ellis, green of 16.
No, leaves it short. 27-footer up the hill. Corey Ellis, first par of the afternoon.
So he's got a chance. He needs to finish birdie to chase down Heimberg. it's still there for him.
A couple of challenging par 4s coming up for Corey Ellis.
Got the Iowa-shaped green on 17, Philo. Remember that one?
I do.
Love that little wrinkle. Schultz for par. That'll be an opening bogey for Silas.
We got the target.
I'll shrug that off. Couple circle 2 looks coming up for birdie. Looks like Macbeth is first. Then we look down from our Flight Factory drone.
Indeed, just a smidgen blocked out. Full straddle to the left. Just pushes it off to the right. Opening par most likely for Macbeth.
The man is 4th on tour in circle 2 at 34%. But can't find it there. McMahon? He is 1 behind Macbeth and 5th on tour. Also that 34% mark.
This would be a great tone setter right here for Eagle McMahon. We all know his capabilities throwing the disc. Man, when that putter's on point, oh, cuts through, just a little left. See if he can get that putter rolling, man. Once that thing's on, it could be lights out for the field if Eagle can get hot.
He's led the tour before in putting, C1X. He's usually north of 90%. That was a bogey followed by a par. A drop-in birdie for Oram.
This is your choice. Live a boring disc golf life or unlock perks of the inner circle like early access to drops and free monthly discs. Welcome to the secret exit. Disc Golf Society. Join the inner circle now.
Oh, that's nice.
And welcome back to Discmania Challenge, and that's not the only tournament happening this weekend. There's also the European Disc Golf Championship. You can watch round 1 for free on DGN. You do need to be a pro subscriber for 2, 3, and 4 though. But check that out. That's a fun course, Philo.
Sula is one of the most beautiful places I have ever touched foot in, man. It is gorgeous.
And you gotta watch that Evelina shot.
She got herself an albatross.
Joining Philo in the Albatross Club. It's an exclusive club, my man.
Not many.
No. Here's the MPO side. Antala off to a good start over Tom. Now, and speaking of the Evelina Albatrace, You played this hole, fella?
I certainly have played this property. I don't remember if it was exactly that hole, but that is a 1 for you right there. Evelina can't believe it. Neither can anyone else. 400 feet down the hill.
2 tournaments in a row with an ace, Philo.
That's awesome.
She rung it up in Wisconsin on her way to that win.
And that thing dancing in the wind. Up and down, and finally down at the perfect time. Bang! Tries to jump out of there.
She's tried to chase down Kristen. She's just 3 back now after round 2. Made up 3 strokes in round 2. 17, Corey Ellis coming off his lone par of the day on 16.
Catches a little. There you go. I think it bopped him towards the center. That's a good kick. At least he's in the middle. Might be able to get himself back into position to get a par.
T of 2 with Matt Oram. They've really tightened up this fairway, Philo.
Yeah,
you can't miss
did.
long anymore.
No, they really brought that high line down the hill a bit.
It was playing tough this morning. Let's see if Macbeth can find the fairway.
That's better.
Back to Corey on 17 for his second. There is an OB area between he and the green. What do you do here, Fi?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I don't think he's got the greatest of angles and swings here to get super aggressive. I'd imagine he's just going to try to lay up to where he was hoping his drive would get, or maybe a little better, have a visual. That's a layup swing all day. That's a smart play.
Yeah, that would have been pressing the issue from that spot right there. It is a second shot for Schultz on 2. Sends it up at the gallery. Will it come back?
That's tough when you're down in those trees to get the elevation needed on the disc to get up and through those limbs there to be able to get towards the target.
For where he was, pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah. In about 2 minutes, your lead card will take the tee. Barella, Babcock, Buhr, and Lazat. A heck of a card there.
Sure, why not?
A couple of Des Moines area guys on the card. Babcock and obviously Buhr.
Yep.
Babcock from Altoona, just a little east.
Second for Oram on 2. And Matty O has that for a 2-for-2 start.
He's like every hole. He's like, that's why I think it'd be so interesting. They're so entertaining.
We are headed to break, but on the other side, your world number 1 takes a tee.
Because I looked and it had like the red dot like it was recording, but usually when you're talking, those like 4 bars.
Lush fairways and peaceful woods, where every hole offers a new chapter in your adventure. Explore this one-of-a-kind disc golf property that boasts not 1, but 2 championship-level courses. Eagles Crossing is where your perfect round begins. Book your tee time online at eaglescrossingdiscgolf.com.
What's going on, guys? Hold My Bag just launched the greatest disc golf fantasy game in the universe.
Hold My Bag just dropped the best fantasy disc golf game the planet has ever seen.
I want to tell you guys about the newest disc golf fantasy game on the market.
One of my favorite parts is the Hold My Bag. This is something that we started doing, and it's actually a lot of fun.
back. And these are Philo's Hold My Bag picks. Strong showing, Philo. I like it.
You know, throw some darts on the board, see if anything sticks.
Mm-hmm.
I think only one out there, Jake Mon, didn't start this afternoon.
He had a late drop, I think, but
so
he played well here last year. Was a top 5, right?
He certainly did. I think it was a top 10 finish. No, he was in the top 5.
Yeah.
He and Hebenheimer were pretty close to each other, the two Jakes there.
Yeah, he was 5th.
Young Crushers.
Yeah, Hebenheimer was 6th last year.
Also, Adam Hamnes had a strong showing here, so I'm kind of seeing if history will repeat itself.
Macbeth. Perfect drive. And takes pretty decent advantage, rumbling into the circle.
I'm sure he'd like to be closer.
True story. Ellis, 3rd on 17, attacking the Iowa-shaped green.
Hanging out the Stolly hyzer, all the touch. That should be right on it. Green flag.
Except Ryan Mavis.
So it looked like back-to-back pars for Ellis after karting 0 through 15 holes. What a feature car we've got for you here. Barella and Buhr, a battle we're going to be watching for a while, Fallow.
Yes, sir. It's going to be happening for quite a while. I don't think Anthony Barella is going to shy away from what Ganon Buhr's been doing. I think he's got enough of his own to prove, motivated enough to go out there and put some really solid rounds together and make things competitive for Buhr, you know? If not, get some wins of his own head-to-head.
Okay, and here we go with our feature card for the 2025 DGPT Discmania Challenge, sponsored by TruBank. First on the T-pad, the 2024 DMC Champion, sponsored by Discraft, from Scottsdale, Arizona, Anthony Barella. Now teeing off, the newlywed, who received a 5th place in rec in 2016 at the Pickard Pictacular. Side note, his caddy got 3rd. From Altoona, Iowa, Gavin Babcock.
Wonderful drive there from Babcock.
Next to the T-pad, your 2023 DMC Champ, sponsored by Discmania, from Urbandale, Iowa. Give it up for Ganon Buhr.
And a congrats to those two.
And rounding out our feature card, your 2022 DMC Champ from Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. Please welcome Simon Lazat.
2, McMahon his second.
Blistering sidearm from Eagle McMahon into the bullseye. What a weapon.
Still awkward.
What a weapon.
Doesn't matter.
Reminds me of that shot we saw over there at the tournament out in, Michigan, dude, when he's standing over the railing.
Oh, the D-Glow one. Yeah. Hole 17.
My goodness, man.
Yep. With you, Philo.
Jaw was on the floor.
Yeah, that was.
It's like there's no way he's getting that thing there.
Yeah. If you come to the Pro Tour, you will see things you didn't think were physically possible happen. I promise you. It's incredible. Macbeth, a nice birdie.
That's more like it.
Off the schneid on the board goes the GOAT. Orm to start 2 for 2. Ooh, I didn't expect that from Matt. He is usually good for those. Ellis, 18.
Yeah.
Great shot. Clean for Ellis. Try to get it to 12 if he can get that up and down.
Back to Burr on 1. Tree off the tee. Does he take his medicine, or?
I would recommend it. That's a long carry up the hill, but he does have that world-class length. Send it.
That's a full send from Burr.
Has to flex back fast. Caught a little cross breed. See those feather banners out there pushing it off to the left. Just got hung up.
Did that ever cross in, Philo, on the far side is the question, right?
I don't think so, Ian. There's nothing good out there.
Terry, what are you hearing on the ground right now after that Burr shot?
Yeah, that was weird.
Well, I'm watching it from a distance, but it looks like the spotter ran over. I didn't see him give any good positive indications. We'll have to see what they're going to have to do to move up the fairway.
Okay. Let's go back to Paul. He's on the tee of 3 now.
This one can bite you, Ian. Very technical par 3 here. Plays downhill, bunch of woods off to the right. Beth saws through a bunch of it. Gonna have a long look, most likely a layup. OB is so close to the target there.
It's the second for Barella on 1 after a perfect drive.
Yeah, this is where that world-class sidearm action really comes into play. Takes all the guesswork out of it. Well executed from AB into circle 1. Opportunity to gain some strokes on Burr right away.
That's a good point. Could be 2 or 3 here, huh?
Depending on the mark, and if he can get that thing up and in.
Burr's about to throw 4? Yeah. So he should get a bogey from where he went out. Where he went out. Orem 3 after the short miss on 2.
Choppy little sidearm, huh? Catches a late one. That was starting to work. Looks like a circle's edge look for Orem.
Simon, his second. Simon going putter here, Philo.
It's insane. Look how wide he throws this thing on the Anheuser, giving it a ton of time to make it. I don't think that even got up there, Ian.
I don't think it did. That's a miss.
Yeah. Questionable disc selection there, in my opinion, Ian. That's a long way up the hill.
Going down the hill for birdie is Orem on 3.
Got that one in the chains.
That's what you expect from Matt Orem.
Nice 2 for 3 start from Matt Orem. Trying to get some early mo.
Babcock. Wonderfully done off the tee. Now throwing 2. Rumbles just past the bullseye for a birdie putt. Good start. I'm sure there were some nerves there. Hometown crowd playing on the big name card.
Absolutely.
He shook him off quickly. Macbeth to start 2 for 3.
Bang, bang.
Ooh.
Hello.
There's that circle 2 prowess. And back to 1 for Burr and his 4th.
Little little shallow, Ian. Got work left to do.
Do you think I crossed up there? I could not see it out of my angle.
Just throw a provisional. We can ask it what the dude thinks.
Alright, so I went about right here.
I think so, yeah.
Provisional.
One more look at this Simon approach to see if it ever crossed on the long side. I mean, maybe it flew over the hazard?
Yeah, I think that's inside, Ian. You see where the shadow was. And that
Yeah.
was, well, you'd have seen the shadow cross over the line on the other side if the disc was on the inside of it, so I don't think that made it.
This is likely the right play then for Simon as he throws his fourth.
See Simon utilize the sidearm action very much. Does a good job of it there, sticking it inside C1.
'18, Ellis, his second. Here's a touchy shot into the green, but Ellis nails it.
Unbelievable play. The trust it takes to throw that backhand on that angle. So slow, let that drift happen. Excellent execution.
Hole 4, Macbeth.
Get out there wide, looking for that late fade. Finds fair ground. Circle 1 for Macbeth.
Worried about that tree hit right there, weren't you? I was.
I thought he was coming up a smidgen short, but it was perfect.
Oram. Hopping on those vapor trails. Ooh, it's turning.
Yeah, that's danger. Is it going to fade fast enough?
That looks OB, and it
Does not.
is.
I believe that's headed to a drop zone for Matt Oram.
Birdie putt for Ezra Robinson to join Isaac at 11. And a chance to beat him on 18.
Brothers Robinson putting in work in Des Moines. That's a stroke and a half gain to the field last I checked on 18.
That was 17.
17, excuse me.
Bogey putt, Burr, hole 1. As expected, Burr drops that in, limiting the damage.
You got a half a stroke on the field on 17 either way for Robinson. So
nice.
Treaded in the right direction.
Barella and a birdie putt.
Just enough. Sweeps it over the rim.
Simon for his bogey. No way.
Uncharacteristic circle 1 miss there from Simon.
Brutal.
Rocky start there. Not the first double we've seen on hole 1.
Yeah, it's playing tough. Birdie looked for Babcock.
Surprisingly, it's a quarter stroke over par. I really didn't think that would happen. Guess those changes made guys think a little harder. That hazard out there on the last stretch on that Anheuser, that's going to make things interesting, especially if the wind picks up over the course of the weekend.
A disappointing double for Lazat. At the drop zone is Oram on 4. Maybe he spins this one in?
It's possible. Nice soft bid there from Matt Oram. Scrape up his bogey, move along. He'll be at 1 under.
Behind that tree is our man Corey Ellis, as promised, and will drop in birdie. 12 under par. Corey Ellis 1 off the lead of Heimberg. See if we can hold on to that lead card spot. The field charging.
Oh, the field definitely knows where the level's at this afternoon. Calvin Heimberg coming out here and pat, 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 pat. 13 of them to the face. Bogey-free effort. See what the rest of the field can do if they can catch onto that pace and light this track up here at the Pickard Park Arena, or will it be Calvin Heimberg on the top of the leaderboard by the end of the day? We'll have to wait and see.
Philo, we're going to take a look at our birdie zone here on hole 2. You like it? Feel fair?
That feels very fair. You get halfway into those trees up there in the fairway, you're feeling pretty good. You don't even have to get to that 500-foot mark. You get about 45, 50 feet behind there, you're loving life.
So that's the birdie zone, and it's sponsored by Birdie Pro. I don't understand why they advertise a board game when the whole world is going digital, Philo. Makes no sense. At least they offer free shipping during the tournament.
Better use it.
I kid. I love me some board games. Make sure you grab that. You should have seen my inbox after I read that the first time, man.
Uh-oh. Getting trolled?
Yeah, Steve got me good right there. Barella, T of 2.
High, spiking hyzer, making sure this thing does not go OB up the high side, but that might be underthrown for Barella.
It sure looked like it.
Uh-oh.
Is that being too cute, or what is that?
Yeah, I would say so. That's one way to put it.
Babcock.
Challenging that high line and just stays.
It's perfect. Scary, but perfect.
You would prefer to be higher up the hill.
Yeah. Burr opened his tournament with a bogey.
Corey Ellis also started his event with a bogey, and his day didn't turn out so bad, so I'm sure Ganon Buhr will right the ship here on hole 2.
I would think so, since his highs are high.
I think that's more what AB was trying to do, just sawed it off just a little bit. Look at that progression for Burr up there in that 500-foot range. Chip shot left into the green.
Simon started with a double after the short circle 1 miss in the OB second. Looking to get back on the horse here in a hurry.
You can understand why the competitors are trying to add a little bit more height to the shots. They don't want to throw the disc out the backside on this green, so they'd rather make the mistake a little bit early and left. But with that wind blowing across the fairway from right to left, it's accelerating that exposure to the face, and I think that's where AB went wrong there.
Schultz on the board with a birdie on 4. It's a good one to get. Macbeth on the same, also for birdie, to go 3 through 4. 21 DMC champion, off to a good start. 18, Ezra Robinson. His tee shot, Philo. My goodness.
This is a tough one.
We have Ganon Buhr to blame, don't we?
Takes a lot of courage to go full, sand through a 12-foot gap.
This guy's a specialist at that, though, isn't he?
6 to 12 is like none other, man. It's one of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's out. And with his arm, as long as he's out, he should be able to reach the green. Looking at 5 and Macbeth. The Hive behind.
Shout out to the Hive, always buzzing out there. Nice work from Macbeth. That'll be a ham bone.
McMahon next to tee.
Ooh, this is aggressive. Is he going to drop? No, not for the ace, but green flag for McMahon. Mr. That Hive, giving him some love.
Awesome stuff, man. Giving the 8-holes a run for their money, Philo, you know?
I love it.
You should see the setup they got, too, man. There's like a tent and some stands, like some bleachers and stuff.
They had some bleachers out there last time.
Oh, did they? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Varela goes a little long from the drop. Oh, that's not long. That's pin high.
We were in town for this last time, right?
Yeah, we were. That's right, yeah.
I remember. Yeah, we had a good time out there last summer.
Not a bad third from AB. They like his chances to save the par.
Hear the hive all the way back here.
You're going to hear it all day long. If the morning was any indication, you're going to hear green flag, green flag, green flag. Matt Oram hoping for a green flag on 5's tee.
Routine little finger pop here from Matt Oram. Beautifully executed just off the bullseye, or maybe just inside.
Yeah.
Park job.
And back to hole 2 for Babcock. What a drive. Looking at his second now.
This makes life a little less stressful when you're in this position in the fairway. Things really open up. Don't feel like you got to put extra speed to match the grade of the hill. Oh, leaks it out a little bit to the low side there, Ian. Obstructed putt coming back up the hill. Hopefully it didn't rumble in there too far. Got to take advantage of these opportunities. Throw yourself a dime out in the fairway, you got to turn it into a routine birdie opportunity on the putting surface.
Buhr.
One angle hyzer uses the ground play. This should curl up nicely. There you go, Ganon Buhr getting things back to level par.
Wasting no time on the bounce back. Simon second. And nicely done by Lazat as well.
Yeah, nice touch there from Simon.
Getting back one of those bogey strokes earned on one. Robinson and his second on 18. I may have spoke too soon, Philo, but we'll see.
Yeah, he's a shot shaping specialist. I don't think he's going to have much of a hard time. So good at these swings. A little hyzer to flat, and you rip it a little early. All right, did show up a little bit early on the green. I think he's out there shallow circle 2, but it's a green flag opportunity. He's no stranger to good circle 2 makes.
Very true. McMahon, no problem. Drops in the birdie, 2 under par through 5. Macbeth, 4 down and 4 in a row as he drops in his.
Shark in the water.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Or maybe a goat.
I don't think goats swim very well, do they?
Oh, goats are great swimmers, Philo.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
I haven't either, but I can only imagine. Oram drops in his birdie, and they are off the hole 6. Jaden Rye plays this course well, Philo. He played well last year, too. He would have been a good pick. He finished 7th last year. A name you don't see.
Some guys just feel good some places. Just
Yeah.
feels like home, you know? Everything makes sense.
Hey, he's from Texas. He just likes Iowa. I don't blame him, man. Pickard is a gem, Philo.
It's a fun course, man. If you got some length off the tee, you should feel very comfortable playing this track. Once you get the tee shots, you know, sorted, pretty straightforward from there.
So I think Babcock being helped to grab a spot for his third.
Newlyweds all tangled up, huh?
It sure is. Oh, that was good, Philo.
That's a good effort. Does come up a bit short. Take that par.
Barella on his way to a par putt after a really nice third from the DZ.
First putt of the day just crept over the rim. Let's see if AB can send this home with conviction. No, dribbles it out the left side, Ian. Can't open the door to world number one. He coughs up too early and then just give him right back.
He sure did, didn't he?
Yeah, just, there you go.
Yeah. Borrowed them for a hot second, apparently.
Apparently so, man.
That was a Simon birdie. That is a Burr birdie. Par and bogey for Babcock and Barella, respectively. On 18, Robinson for birdie, and to grab a share of second with Ellis.
No. By the slimmest of margins.
Thought it was in. Macbeth. Out of the woods on 6 to dogleg right, and then another dogleg right with your second.
Yeah, perfect.
And he is in position for his second. You'll see that on the other side of this.
Let's send these boys back to the lobby. Get on. Oh, Grandma's got a hot kettle for that tea bag.
How did you get so much energy from a candy?
One Shot is no ordinary candy. It only has 4 grams of sugar, and the nootropics help prevent jitters and crash.
Grandma, do you think I could try one of those One Shot energy chews?
Oh, sure, honey. But if you come for the queen, you better come correct, Sprout. I'm the OG. Got it?
Got it.
Level up your energy with One Shot. Grab yours at oneshotenergy.com today.
Hello, we're Kenna. We're a Dutch growing company. We love plants and we want to tell you some cool things about them. Just like humans, plants can communicate. They can sense when another plant is close. Plants look out for each other too. They warn neighbors about nearby threats by secreting substances. And studies have shown that plants love a good tune. We love and understand plants. Let our passion excite you too.
Burr, tee of 3. Dogleg right, water just beyond the pin.
Yeah, we're talking 4 or 5 steps max if you overcook this thing. Caught the little defining one out there, circle 2 for Burr. Decision time on the green.
Simon next.
That looks a little floaty, Ian.
Agree, and that's the result, huh? There is OB, kind of an inlet that cuts in short and right. I'd imagine he's okay though. The only man without a bogey on the card here, Babcock.
That looks better. Got to check. Oh, there's the danger of coming in hot. Too much speed. That is typically the result. But I like the idea behind the shot. Press the disc down into the ground. Try to land right in the field goal of those trees down there and kill the speed.
Barella.
This looks tasty, Ian.
Perfect. So good.
What a bounce back from AD. That's how you recover.
Corey Ellis has a share of second place. He's also in the clubhouse with Terry Miller. Take it away, Terry.
Hot off the course is Corey Ellis, a 12 under during the opening round. Were you allergic to pars? What was going on out there?
Yeah, it seemed like it for sure. I just had a bogey on hole 1, and then Parker Welk said, well, just birdie out from here. And I tried, you know.
Yeah, well, Parker certainly had the right idea there. What was the conditions? What were the conditions like for you out here today?
Overall, it was absolutely beautiful. Not a lot of wind until we got near the last 3 quarters of the round, or the last quarter of the round, and now it's starting to pick up a little bit, so hopefully that's good for me.
Yeah, when you're looking at a 12 under, knowing that at the moment Heimberg has the hot score, how do you feel about a 12, and how should that stack up?
I definitely left some strokes out there. Those 2 bogeys, and I missed a putt on 16 that I'd really like back, but overall I'm really happy with how I threw the disc and the putting, because there was I had a luck where I had a drop in, and the next hole I had like a 30-footer, and I made it. And then it was kind of like that throughout the round. It kind of kept a putting rhythm going a little bit, which I think is important whenever if you have a lot of drop-ins, it kind of gets weird on the putting green.
Well, and I was going to say, you're obviously known as one of the best putters in the planet, and that's great insight that there is something to say about maybe building confidence, having a 15 or 20 footer or something just to kind of keep you in rhythm. Is that what you're telling me?
Absolutely. Even a little further, even like 25 footers to like, everybody makes their putts in the circle for the most part. I feel like nowadays, if you're in contention, you're making all your putts. So that's the number one thing you got to do is put it in the basket at the end of the day, right?
Absolutely, and like I said, you do that very well. You have the rest of the afternoon. What will you do to unwind tonight, and then how will you prep for tomorrow?
Try to stay up a little later, just sleep in. I'll have a little later tea time than today. So just get a nice dinner. I think making burgers with me and Matteo, and then we're just going to take it easy. Go see my dog.
All right, well, that sounds like a good day. That's a 12 under for the opening round. Best of luck to you. Maybe we'll see you on that lead card tomorrow.
Thanks, Terry.
Yeah, thank you, Corey Ellis, for the time. And Philo, I was worried about that Simon drive being OB. It was.
Dang.
Yeah. So he's going to pick up another bogey here. Birdie putt, though, for Buhr.
Pushed it. Oh, in danger. Don't roll.
Oh, my gosh. Somehow.
Safe. It should be
dry, at least.
That would be a terrible break if that somehow found the little sliver of land between the stake and the pond.
It's the second shot for Oram on 6. Punching a forehand into the woods.
Go. Okay, go. Chops through. Lengthy bid. Circle 2, it looks like, for Matt Oram.
Not bad, though.
Not bad.
Yeah, on the same McMahon.
I kind of like this a little bit better. Get a little bit punch, a little curl. Ooh, no. Checks up early as well. It's a touchy one, that second shot at the 6.
Mm-hmm. You going high, there's that canopy. You going low, you get the grass. Yeah,
it's a weird one. It's kind of a middle gap, you know. You don't want to stall it. You don't want to chop it in there too low and tight.
It is a par putt for Buhr. Collected all the scores he's like to collect. He's got a par, a bogey, and a birdie.
Neapolitan to start.
Yeah. Macbeth, his second on 6th. Really nice drive. Really opened up the angle with that tee shot.
Yeah, he pressed way up the fairway. That opens the possibilities for that. Inside circle 1 for Macbeth, trying to go Yahtzee, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's 5 in a row. Par putt for Babcock after the drive rolled OB into the pond. And he will keep his card bogey-free. The only man who can say that on this feature card. Barella. Get back under on the round. 2 birdies and a bogey on that card.
Nice rhythm there on that little 20-footer for Barella. Got to find some way to level the fields and get back to the baseline.
Bogey drop in for Lizotte, and Babcock wants that one back. Don't blame him. McMahon, birdie putt. Much like 1, about that same distance, Philo. See if we can get the putt working.
There it is.
Nice pace for McMahon, 3 through 6.
I really like that step through putt that McMahon does. Gets all that momentum going, just lets the body just follow through on the line. Love it.
Thanks, Azuka, for rolling that back for us. On the green of the same. Oram, birdie putt.
Yo, same thing. Step through putt, drills it.
One more look at this Oram make. Typical Oram shape on this one. A little Annie with some late flicks.
I like this so much better than a jump putt. I feel like you're so much more under control with this action than leaping through the air and trying to time that up. This feels like you're just walking to the putt as you let it go, you know, walking after it. Love it.
For 5 in a row, Macbeth.
Never a doubt. All Macbeth. Furnace.
There we go.
Burning hot here in Des Moines. He's due, man.
He is due. It's been over a year.
He is due.
Your 21 champion looking to go back that up. Also, 5 those jump putts, a lot of them, if you slow them down, they're illegal. You know?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say nothing about that.
Yeah. T04. Good spot for an AB arm on this 472-foot downhill par 3.
For AB, he's going to have to tone it down because it does play downhill quite a bit. See if he adds it. Looks like he's adding a bit more vertical. Try to kill some of the speed. Oh boy, look at that.
472 on the Spike Heiser, Philo.
He's screaming at it. Super shorty.
It was 460 on a Spike Heiser. And to the drop zone goes AB. Buhr.
Good place to miss,
isn't it?
Pin high left.
Yeah.
Should feel pretty comfortable with that putt, barring a really terrible rollaway similar to the last one, which could end up in the water. But you know, relatively safe putt to take.
Babcock.
Taking the more traditional route, keeping a little lower, and he's going to end up out there towards the left. Green flag for Babcock, but I imagine he's out there 55, 60 feet away.
And Lazat. And he's 2 over through 3. Has yet to find a par.
Yeah, that's how most guys attack this hole. Right down the middle, just a little bit of cut. Beautiful shot from Simon Lazat.
Thank you.
Again, it almost feels like AB is doing a little
Too much. Yeah, I don't want to be overcritical of him.
know.
I mean, I don't. How many people in the world have his arm talent to tell him what to do?
It's so true.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
who am I to sit here and say, oh, you shouldn't throw that shot?
We could just backseat drive, right?
Of course.
Yeah, yeah. Macbeth on a heater. I'll have that. For 6 in a row?
Double Turk.
Ooh. Had the par on 1. This is on 2 to get it started.
He said enough mucking around. I'm ready to play some disc golf. He knows where the level's at. He saw what the rest of these competitors did earlier. Calvin Heiberg setting the tone 13 under. He knows what he's got to chase down. Paul Macbeth marching around Pickard Park right now.
Man, not afraid of looking at the scorecard, huh, Philo?
I don't think he's even worried about that. He doesn't even need to look. He knows exactly what he needs to do. Go out here and make birdies, post a score. So far, first third of this round, he is on fire. Everything working.
The Hive trying to coach that one home, but it's a drop-in birdie on 5.
Just a bullseye.
And really taking advantage of that great tee shot on 6.
One of the best you'll see. It's hard to drop a disc in a better spot than when Macbeth's drive landed. Really opens up that second shot. Threw a pretty standard sidearm into the green. There's his putt. 5 birdies in a row. Old McBeasto waking up here in Des Moines.
That one putt miss was in circle 2, so perfect inside the circle. Drop zone, Barella throwing 3.
Tried to splash it in there. Nice little soft run for AB.
Orem 7.
Does it have the height?
I was with you, Philo. It looked a little low.
Wow, Matty. Oh, laser beams that thing up the hill.
It is perfect.
He's got some of the best cut swing game on the planet, man. That guy certainly knows how to anticipate that overstable showing up.
Terry, pretty solid gallery out here for a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, as you guys on hole number 5, and they are a rowdy group enjoying all of the action out here. We've got a couple hundred people also following our final feature card. Iowa Disc Golf, along with the rest of the Midwest, always turns out, and they're not disappointing here on our opening round.
Love that. Burr for birdie after Babcock laid up for par. That man doesn't miss 2 putts in a row.
Very rarely.
Very rarely, anyway. Birdie drop in for Lazat. Fighting his way back to par. He's 1 over now.
Simon's on the roller coaster. See if he can get this thing to level par and start making some ground on these leaders.
Bogey for Barella. On 7, McMahon. On the other side of this break, feature card. Tackles hole 5. We'll see you there.
Oh, wow, guys, it looks like we have some breaking news about the world of disc golf.
Our top story tonight, Discount Disc Golf is offering premium disc golf discs for as low as $5.
2 million% more people are playing our local disc golf courses due to finding out they can get brand new discs for $5 to $7.
Things are really hot down here at the scene, but still not as hot as the deals on DiscountDiscGolf.com.
Discount Disc Golf released a statement saying that while everyone in this video is fake, the deals on DiscountDiscGolf.com are very real.
Welcome back. Burr in front of the Beehive.
Oh, baby, let's go.
On T5.
Let's go.
Here it comes. Ooh, just short in. Trying to give the people what they want.
Not everybody can be Lexi Marks, Philo. Birdie for McMahon. Putter stays solid for Eagle. Back to 5, Simon.
I haven't seen this yet this afternoon. Wide spike and hyzer got a couple of things late to beat. Chops through into the bullseye for Lazat. That'll get him back to par. Such a showman.
Back to the green of 7 for Macbeth for 6 in a row.
I think the Hive got him in. All that ruckus going on back there in the background. Just a little too much want on that putt for Macbeth.
A little cooler there for Paul, but still par's not bad on that one. Babcock 5. Little sod.
Yeah, it's dragging to the right. Does it check up? It does. Stays out of the woods inside circle 1.
Who has been alternating birdies and bogeys.
Just a putter.
On track for the birdie if this hooks up.
It's got a fade, maybe a late tree kick. Land over there by...
Green flag, 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 green flag.
It's commitment to the bid here.
They're rooting for him. AB could certainly use a green flag right now.
Somebody poke that spotter and speed him up, man.
happening? The anticipation's killing me.
I just mentioned this, but the Lexi Marks a year ago, market 1. So cool.
Textbook hazard.
This hit the meat of the chains, dude, didn't it?
Absolutely. On the tape. That hive just erupted.
Going insane. Oh, you love it, man. I love the a-holes. I love the hive, man. Love the action out here. Terry, what's the word for AB? We never saw the conclusion to that green flag chant.
Both flags were put up as if he was undecided or maybe couldn't find it. And then he went and investigated again and then came back out and ultimately gave us a green flag. So AB moving forward, green flag inbounds, it's definitely going to be obstructed.
Yeah, with you there, Terry. Thank you. It looked buried.
The bog.
There's some duckweed in that beard, Philo.
That guy's going to come out looking like Shrek, man, if he stays in there too long.
Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate that guy a lot. But you're
there's
not
no
wrong.
leeches or something.
Oh, my. I'm sure there
Who
are.
knows
man.
what's in that water, man.
Hopefully he's got a wetsuit on.
Hopefully.
And is Barilla back there? It looks like he's got a putt, Philo.
Looks like he's got the old elevator putt, the little Simon Lizotte. You see if he can spin it up. Oh, chain high. A little bit of work left there for AB.
I think he is still out.
Yeah.
While he gets there, Macbeth. T of 8. Flipping to flat beautifully.
A little shy. Better to be short than long or left here. OB comes up quick.
Barilla, par putt now.
That's a great recovery from Anthony Barilla. Way not to give up on himself on that putt and stay focused and drill that home.
Babcock walking to a birdie putt. Too close to miss for Gavin.
Agreed. Get comfortable. A little 12-footer. He just pops it in there. All right. Maybe the moisture in the air getting to his fingertips. Having a hard time getting the. Yeah, there you go. Wiping the disc off. Something was bothering him. Happens in the humid, humid conditions.
Drop in birdies for Burr and Lizotte, leaving the right way there. Burr now 2 under. 3 birdies, that 1 bogey back on 1. Macbeth for birdie on the green of 8. Circle 2.
It runs off fast if you miss. There it goes. That caught edge as well. That is potential for out of bounds, Ian. Hopefully it didn't happen to him.
They've got him putting for par right now, so it sounds like hopefully that checked up. Heading back to 6 for a Zenny fly-through, Philo. That's a
This
cool
is a
signature hole out here,
absolutely, man. We were talking about this at Portland. You don't see many holes like this, and I brought this one up specifically. It's such a great disc golf hole. I love the concept of the Anheuser out the gate, and you can't get wild with this thing. If you don't get this thing perfect, you're going to either end up in the woods or you're ending up OB. I love that. You can't see where you're landing. You just got to trust your shot and plan accordingly. Put the right amount of pace and shape to it. Try to give yourself some angle up on the high left side. Really opens up the angles. If you end up on the right, you're cooked. If you can land where Macbeth was, you're loving life, man. That second shot's where it's all at. It's so touchy. You got that canopy up there blocking the high, spiky, stally shot, which just typically doesn't work. Leaves you out there 45, 50 feet. You could make the putt, but you'd like to be closer. You see how guarded it is. Tough, tough, tough get. Somehow it's under par on the afternoon.
And thanks to Zenny for the fly through. That's DGPT for 10% off your order there. That's eyewear for everyone. Grab a backup pair of glasses if you don't have one already. You can get it for a remarkably cheap price, I promise you. Looking back down the fairway, up 6. There's the FPO tee right there. Buhr.
Going for the one angle hyzer. Lands safely in the middle of the fairway. Nice conservative play there. Gets himself in position.
Looks like Simon wants a little more off the tee, opting for the backhand.
And if he hits this thing right, he could have himself 125 into the pin if he goes full flex on this. See how aggressive he gets.
Very Philo.
That's a big shot, Ian. Towering.
He is
late
spinning.
Flipping.
Our catch cam.
Yeah, that's OB. Didn't get over on it enough. A little too floaty out there with the conditions kind of dragging downhill. You don't want that thing floating at all.
On 8, McMahon. Birdie look. 4 in a row for McMahon. And back-to-back circle 2 makes as well.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, man. When this guy's putter's on, you can expect to see him score well. He's an elite shot shaping and thrower of the disc.
As Macbeth making his par putt. Thankfully was safe after the birdie bid. Andrew Marweed, 7 under. Fairway of 11 for his second shot.
His name sure has been popping up into the conversation a bunch this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, last month solid it feels like.
Very solid month for Marweed. Did well over at OTB. I think he was playing some good golf up in a Northwest Championship in Washington, and here he is playing solid again.
Ooh.
Scaring the chains on 11.
Babcock, 6.
I like that trajectory, man. It takes all the guesswork out of what's going to happen. Similar to Ganon Buhr, right there in the center of the fairway. Something similar on your second. A little less speed should give you a look.
Yeah. At least if you script a second, you're not going to be on B.
For sure. You don't want to shoot yourself in the foot off the tee pad here. That's just going to make things uphill battle on a downhill hole.
Varela, even through 5.
I like that swing. You see how he pressed it down into the grade? That's how you get this reaction right here for Anthony Varela. Well done. That's the difference of throwing the high shot that Simon did with stalls and the low pressing shot that AB. I love that adjustment there for AB.
The C1 Cookie Monster is good for that birdie. Oh, that's a scorecard.
Wow. These guys are eating this place up this afternoon.
This is the type of disc golf I like to watch, though, honestly, Philo.
I like some shootouts,
man.
yeah.
Man. It's fun.
Good to have some shootouts every once in a while.
McMahon going up the hill on 9.
Surprisingly, this hole's been playing over par on the afternoon as well. Even McMahon looks like he's just off circle 1. Looks like a good putt.
On the same Orem.
Oh, it flip-flopped. It finally got under par on the afternoon. Yeah! Half an hour ago, this one was playing a quarter stroke or so over par.
It's a pretty tight OB, so maybe that happening there. Macbeth.
I feel like this is a gotta-get birdie on the course. 305 feet, throw your straightest shot. Inside C1 for Macbeth.
Back to 6 for Buhr's second.
Going vertical, trying to crash the canopy a little deeper in there. Up, beat down early. Does it trickle in? Yeah, looks like it does. How about that? It worked out for him. Inside circle 1 for Berg. That's rare.
Sounded like it was like maybe parked or something. Yeah. Maybe a little long.
Not far off, Ganon.
Playing Plinko with the trees and
Yeah.
rolling the dice that
new
way.
approach, like so high that it actually gets in before it hits trees.
I guess the only mistake you could make with that is to saw it off early and then end up into the woods, and there's some OB on the backside in there, so you just got to be mindful of that. But it looks like he hung it out there wide enough and somehow fought through.
See if Babcock can make this work for his second.
As you mentioned before, you're not going to get much ground play with the skips. You got to have some air under the disc. The grass is so sticky and thick.
See if he goes to the Buhr play.
Yeah, similar. He's trying to just beat the canopy. There it is. That fought through as well. Look at that, circle 1. So rare to see that happen.
No clue this year. I usually can tell what it's good or bad. So hard to get. That one seemed like it got through a lot before it hit something, so I could see being like backside. You'll be like back left, I think. Yeah. Probably like 24.
Those are pretty good guesses for not knowing where the disc is.
Pretty solid. Yep. These guys know what they're doing.
They sure do. Marweed, T of 12. Great spot for his 1-finger sidearm.
Another one of those gotta get birdie opportunities. This whole quarter stroke under par. Marweed seems to have dialed up another beauty. Bounces it right up into the bullseye. Parked.
Won't be able to pad those C1X stats. That's in the bullseye. McMahon, birdie putt on 9.
Putter's been looking really good for Eagle.
For 5 in a row.
Yes, sir.
Got to make battle on that second feature card. Barella, 2, hole 6.
He's got to get something going here, Ian. Absolutely flatliner, trying to find the pulse out here. Anthony Barella does not get the same fortune. That's more like what you see on this hole out there. Circle 2, 35-footer.
Macbeth just inside the circle for this birdie putt on 9.
There he is. Solid opening 9 for Macbeth.
It's the 3rd for Simon after the OBT shot.
Another common occurrence at the 6. Trying to play the backhand, so tight, not much of a window to squeak that thing in there. 38-footer or so for Simon, trying to scrape up a par.
Back to 9 for Orem's birdie putt.
Let's go, Matty-O!
Dribbles at home, 5 under performance on his opening 9. See if Matt Orem can pick up the pace on the back 9.
That's a 5 and 2 6s on that card through 9 holes.
Solid. Well, they're just off the pace of Will Heimberg there, and want to try to get to 6 under per 9. Give yourself an opportunity. Taking a scroll down the list there. Eagle McMahon clawing his way up along with Paul Macbeth. Another local Ben Calloway in the clubhouse, 7 under, 14th tie.
Barella, circle 2, green of 6 for birdie.
Step through, never had a chance, Ian. On line, but definitely shoved that one low.
Leaves that Simon down there to save par.
He's got a window. Simon usually does very well in these circumstances. Got it on the left side, Ian, somehow.
Did it stay? No, it fell out, man.
Jumped out, no.
I thought it might have. Oh my goodness.
I saw that through the leaves wrong. I apologize. It looked like it barely snuck in on the left side. Oh, out the back. Even worse.
Dancing on the rim.
Dirty.
Birdie look for Buhr. And this will be 3 in a row for Ganon. Babcock also looking at 3. And to get 3 under on the round. And after the break, the island hole, hole 7. We'll see you there.
Great news! Uplay and the PDGA share a mission to provide education and support for healthier lifestyles through the sport of disc golf. By joining the PDGA, your membership dollars are directly at work for these amazing programs, introducing and producing disc golf players all over the world. Support our programs by joining the PDGA or donating here.
Welcome back, McMahon. Tee of 10, par 5. McMahon sending it around the outside. Thanks to that monster. Oh my goodness. Buhr, 7. As we look down from our Flight Factory drone at the Buhr drive.
Swinging the sidearm into circle 1. Effective shot.
He's good enough.
And back to 10 for Orem. Looks like Orem's going to shoot one of these gaps off the tee.
Yeah, I imagine he'd use his cut swing, play that right gap, get that thing to late fade, press. There it is. Just the tiniest bit of cut, mostly straight. In position. All you need off the box.
7, Babcock.
Oh no.
Left it in.
Maybe it has enough?
Does it get lucky and catch the edge? No, hops over, putting for par from the hazard.
Babcock, the only man without a bogey on this card, will need to make that putt to keep it that way. Macbeth, 10.
More aggressive line from Macbeth. Big, wide, spiking hyzer. Absolutely torched that one up the fairway.
He still got that big boy distance, Philo.
Certainly does. He ain't old yet.
Hasn't gone anywhere. Nope. Not by any stretch. And he's healthy this year, too. Barella, which he wasn't last year.
That's the more appropriate angle from AB. There you go. Should see his way to a birdie.
He loved it. Simon. 0 pars on that card, and not in the Corey Ellis type of way. He's got a double and 2 bogeys. To balance out 3 birdies.
There's the more technical swing here. A little shallow cut swing, and just off the front of the basket for Simon Lizotte. So close. There's my first contender for the OTB. Simon Lizotte.
Take another look at our one-shot replay from Simon Lizotte. Reminder, get coupon code DGPT for 25% off your order there over at oneshotenergy.com as it hits the cage. We got a wide range of energy chews, focus chews, and voice drops. As we look at this from our Flight Factory. Inches.
Beautiful, man. Little narrow cut swing there from Simon. Almost rings up the one.
God, that really could have turned his round around, too.
Turned his whole energy around.
I would have gotten under par.
Everybody wanted that one in the bleachers. They were ready to do a rep.
It never looked like anything to me.
Same here, buddy. Great effort.
They should be looking at Babcock and his par putt, as you can see here.
Pretty much perfectly pinned high.
Thank you.
I feel like a little headwind coming over that ridge.
Sorry.
What happened?
He was asking for the spectator to not walk in. It didn't work exactly.
And that didn't work either for Babcock. There's his first bogey of the afternoon. A little discombobulated there on the green.
Yeah. Got thrown out of rhythm a little bit. We saw the drive from Marweed on 12 and drops in the birdie from the bullseye into your top 10. Did he? 6 in a row? Is that what someone just said right there?
That might have been a double hammy there for Marweed.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
Double Turk.
Double Turk. 6 birdies in a row. We should see 3 birdies here from each your feature card. Buhr, Barella, and Lazat.
Who's acting first?
Mr. Buhr.
Slightly off the pace of where you'd like to be this opening round with the work Calvin Heimberg and others have done earlier this afternoon, excuse me. I have to put together one heck of a closing 12 holes to narrow the margin. That gets him to 4. Potentially go 5-6 with birdies at 8 and 9. I like his chances at 9 for sure. 8's a tough get.
Simon slides in his birdie. Barella will do the same.
Almost good.
Simon even. Barella just 1 under through 7 holes. Bogey drop in for Babcock. Slides back to 2 under.
Come in.
$10. Oram, his second.
Once again, all about placement here at the 10th. Trying to set yourself up for an angle to attack that really tight sliver of green down there at the bottom of the hill. Matt Oram looking good.
Macbeth. Is the eagle play still there for Philo?
Some guys have been going after it. I don't know if I'd recommend it. It's such a gamble. You know, there's really no guaranteeing the disc is going to react any certain way when you cast it up there through the trees.
McMahon, his second.
All these guys playing super conservative second shots. There you go. Trickles down the hill nicely.
13, Marweed after the drop-in birdie on 12. Looked a little wide, Philo.
It did. Hard to say if that's going to filter through.
Yeah. All right, Ganon Buhr, tee of 8. Ganon going mid-range off the tee.
Incredible. Just he ripped over on that. That's got to be a driver if that's going to
right,
recover.
Yeah.
No way that's a mid-range and flying like that. Off the mark either way.
Yeah.
Most likely just pitch that up, takes par.
That right side is pretty thick.
Indeed.
Barella.
I like the line that Macbeth threw earlier on this. That was just a little bit more carry. That, I think, is the ideal way to attack this hole if you've got the long arm, can go one angle. A bit of hyzer flip potentially out of Barella. I don't think so. I think that's a misfire, Ian. That's in trouble. Dig in, slow down. I think that was a red flag. I saw the green one down by his knee, so that's another mistake. Kind of self-inflicted wounds here for Anthony Barella opening round.
Not looking good for your defending champion.
All the mistakes you could really look at have been kind of his own fault. You know, the drive off the second, the drive on the fourth.
Simon leaking right as well. Hanging out with Buhr over there. Oh.
Same neighborhood.
Yeah.
Actually 45 feet away, maybe obstructed.
Macbeth, his third on 10. Not bad. Macbeth has that for birdie. Speaking of birdies, Marweed.
Elevated pin, tough to get super aggressive with that.
Yeah, OB long as well.
Lots of stuff happening on the green.
McMahon on 10, getting into the green with his third.
Yeah, that's smart golfing right there for these guys. They did most of the work the first 2 shots. Just take your little chip shot, earn yourself a birdie, and move along.
Same for Orem.
Finger pop coming in, using the ground play, slides it into the bullseye. Nice work from the gang.
Back to the tee of 8, Babcock.
Good line, Gavin.
Here's somebody out there said that's better. Let's see how this thing finishes.
That was Ganon. He liked it.
Yes, sir. Babcock. One of the best throws we've seen on this hole this afternoon yet.
Marweed now for par on 13.
You ever missed me? Yeah, last year.
That Heimberg number still holding. I kind of like its chances to hold too.
At the moment, I do as well. I'm not saying it's not possible. Burr could still get crazy hot. He's not going to make it to 6 under on the front unless he makes an amazing putt here, but still some opportunities out there for some guys to put some numbers together.
Couple McBirdies. Macbeth and McMahon making short work at 10. Orem should knock in his as well. And that's a Schultz birdie, so make it 4 birdies for that second feature card on 10.
There you go.
Terry, a bit of a slow start for your defending champion, and how's he looking here on 8? Apologies, we don't have Terry right now. Buhr laid that one up for a 3. Orella has this for a par, but should lay it up.
Giving it the half go.
That might have been,
the full go.
Yeah.
Foot in the mouth once again. AB tried to cover it up and comes up a smidgen short. Roller coaster continues.
Sliding back to even goes Barella through 8 holes. Only a 3-round tournament, Philo. You don't get a ton of holes to waste out here.
It's starting to feel like it's slipping through his fingers already. I mean, we see the pace. You know how good Calvin Heimberg is. Isaac Robinson also up there. Corey Ellis also a major winner. Ezra Aderhold still trying to get his name off of that winless on the DGPT. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that are super motivated right now. And obviously, Ganon Buhr, world #1, out there trying to check box off of his list every week. New records, this and that. Just can't have those slow starts. No room for that.
Birdie putt for Babcock. Babcock, stroke on the card.
Some of my favorite discs in my bag are the A-Series discs. They're the ones I lean on to get close to the basket, and each of them have a consistent grip. So as you cycle through the series, you won't have to change the way that you hold the disc. These are torque-resistant discs that are more stable than the PA Series, provide a consistent fade at the end of the flight. The best way to find your flight is to get out and use these discs yourself.
Hello, I'm Steve Dodge. Welcome to the first permanent disc golf installation put out by Zuka. I'm standing on the Zuka deck at Maple Hill. 10 years ago, Zuka came on board as the first major partner of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. And that partnership continues today, right here at Maple Hill. Come enjoy the Zuka deck at Maple Hill, one of the best places on earth to watch disc golf.
Hey everyone, Ganon Buhr here, and I want to invite you to compete in the Power Disc Golf Academy Championship Series. This is the only professional and amateur nationwide disc golf series, and everyone is welcome to compete. Qualifier events will be held in cities across North America. If you place high enough at a qualifier event, you'll earn the invitation to compete in our championship event at Eagles Crossing Disc Golf Course. Scan this QR code for dates and locations of the qualifying events. We hope to see you there.
This is your choice. Live a boring disc golf life or unlock perks of the inner circle like early access to drops and free monthly discs. Welcome to the Secret Disc Golf Society. Join the inner circle now.
If you design, if you test, if you manufacture, there is only one technology partner you need. TruBank Group is the leading provider of design, engineering, and manufacturing solutions for thousands of companies across North America and Europe. Innovation starts here. TruBankGroup.com.
Welcome back. Babcock, T of 9.
Oh, that's OB right.
I was about to say, opportunity to finish the front 9.
Well, that's hard to go OB right, honestly.
On a positive
Dude,
note,
it gets
unfortunately, just slides over.
Yeah. Short putt for par, though. Silver lining on that OB cloud.
True story. Be making it diabolical if they put a drop zone at the top of the hill, huh? Like, no chance for par for you. Worm burner. Yeah, I was about to say, that's almost instantly going to go OB.
Wow.
Cut roll.
They cut rolled?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Never done that. You're throwing incredibly uphill here, Philo. It's pretty wild. You can see the stairs next to you.
Yeah, it's like a 15, 20-foot rise over your head, and then you want that thing to not lift. It's so hard to do. I think that has the perfect action on it. Just sit down now. Sit. No. Wow, usually that works out.
Varela. 3 birdies, 3 bogeys on the AB card.
There you go.
Should be 4 and 3 after he gets up there. McMahon, 11.
tickle on the way out. Does it affect the speed?
He's in the short stuff.
That's great. On the fairway here is got to be priority number one.
Macbeth. Also a little tickle on the way out. Oh,
yeah, that's wonderful.
That is great.
Yeah.
It is the second shot for Marweed on 14. Still has to throw over the OB area. He's not doing it with his second though, Philo. That's smart golf.
Setting himself up, play for par.
Buhr in his third. Almost sends in the par from the fairway. But Buhr will pick up his second bogey of the day here.
Man, just like I was talking about momentum, 10 minutes ago, if he could go birdie, 8 and 9, it changes the whole look of his round, but now he's gone par bogey.
On 11, Paul throws his second. It's low. Will it get edge and get a skip?
Almost never, man. This grass is carpet out here. There's maybe 2 or 3 spots on this whole course you can anticipate a skip.
Will the smart play pay off for Marweed, his third? After laying up short of the OB Creek area.
A routine approach here for Marweed. He's got this all day. There you go.
Smart golf.
Job done.
Pays off.
Yes, sir.
There's a second for McMahon on 11. Set up beautifully.
Licking the chops, man. You got to take advantage of this. Little tickle again. Doesn't bother him. Beautifully executed there for McMahon.
McMahon has that to go 8 under through 11 holes.
How about that?
Yeah. Par putt for Simon after the OB tee shot.
No.
Dead center the whole way, but fades right before the chains. Second for Oram.
I think he likes that. Oh no, reverse bounce. Here it comes down the hill. That was rude. 90% of that shot was great for Matt Oram and got robbed by the crown there.
On the green, Babcock has it for birdie. I believe it to be for par, though. They have it for birdie. Was he in bounds then?
I think it said for par the second time there when we looked up. Yeah.
Even on the scoring, it has for birdie. Okay, so it sounds like it has been updated. Barella made short work of that. Buhr should make short work of this bogey putt. Bogey for Lazat. That's the front 9. 9 more to go on the other side of this break.
This summer, discover Estonia and feel the energy of Tallinn. From July 17th, the European Disc Golf Festival brings the sport's biggest stars to the legendary Tallinn Song Festival grounds. Experience world-class disc golf in a land of wild nature, vibrant culture, and medieval charm. Estonia is waiting. Tallinn is calling. Get your tickets now at svibi.com.
trying to catch this wave.
Macbeth, long birdie look on 11. Dangerous green.
Oh.
Heck of an effort. Got a pretty friendly reaction. You know, this could roll 80 down the hill.
Lots of things could happen
Yeah.
on this basket in this position. Yeah, he caught that nice and flat. Just settles up 5 or 6 steps off.
AB. T of 10. He threw over the trees, Philo.
Yeah, another one of those stratosphere drives, but unfortunately, OB again for Anthony Barella. Just all self-inflicted, Ian.
Burr. That was inside. And finds a tree, but gets a green flag at least.
Still opportunity to make a birdie. I know he's a little bit off the pace for the hole, but gets down there on the second stretch of this fairway. He should be able to turn that into a birdie.
Simon. Kind of feels like AB's in his Simon line phase right now, doesn't it?
Something like that, yeah, like when Simon's trying to be the showman, and these types of things can happen. It's one heck of a shot that just happens to end up OB type of thing. Yeah, just, when AB's just sticking to his game and just playing golf, man, he's hard to beat.
Marweed, 15.
Whoa.
A couple things on the way through, but I don't think that affected it much for Marweed. Should be okay.
Par putt for Paul. No harm, no foul.
Can live with pars there at the 11th. Not the easiest get on the course.
McMahon, he wants a birdie though, and he gets it.
Man, look at that stretch. 7 in a row for Eagle.
Burr's second on 10.
There you go. Some world-class distance making up the difference. Right back in the mix.
Gavin and his second.
Good place to be. Should have visuals on the target, or really good visual on the landing zone, at least.
Might be a little left. I thought there was a flagger up there.
McMahon, 12.
Ooh, that's low out the gate for McMahon. Hoping for some good ground play. Would you look at that, Ian?
Tons of it. In spades, as it were.
Somehow finds himself circle one.
Orum.
Needs a lift. Yeah, I don't think it's going to get it. It's going to catch that rock wall.
Oh, no
Get
way.
outta here. Jumps halfway up it. All right.
Maybe a forehand skips over with a backhand on that line?
Didn't see that coming.
Not at all. Oh, Marweed did make the corner of Philo on 15.
I saw some limbs drop about 2/3 of the way in flight there. Imagine it's going to take a little bit of speed off. Man, that's brutal for Marweed.
Even with his forehand.
This is pushing the issue here if he gets aggressive after the target. I would agree with that, Ian.
Back there.
What? Oh, that was a different hole. Oh my gosh.
Barella's third after the OBT shot on 10. Does he get crazy and go try to reach the green here, Philo? Is he pressing
Reach
the
the
issue?
green? No, that's not happening.
Okay.
I think he's just going to try to fire this thing around that big tree down there and get himself. Ooh, it's hung out again, Ian. This is got to stay clean. Oh man, Ian.
Oh boy. The wheels are off the Barella bus. He's running on rims right now, Philo. Macbeth, 12. Oh, it's not the protege today, it's the master apparently, huh?
Right?
Yeah.
Good call there, Ian.
Yeah. Oh, the hot air balloon. Is that tomorrow or Sunday? It'll be out here tomorrow is the word from production. It's tethered, so it's not going anywhere, so that's nice. You ever been up in one of those, Philo?
I have not.
It's fun and terrifying, in my
I
opinion.
could only imagine, man.
Yeah,
especially if you're one of those people not so thrilled about heights.
Yeah, I'm on that list, man. Looking over that wicker basket edge was a little frightening.
I'll take the steel can in the sky over the,
yeah.
the balloon in the tank.
A couple more safety measures on that. Simon getting his next shot on the fairway nicely. On 12, Schultz.
Should have the height to get over the. There it is.
Fun fact.
Every 10 holes on tour, this guy parks, and there's another.
It is now the 5th for Barella. Trying to twist this onto the green. That leaked left OB.
He's reeling right now, Ian.
He is cooked, as the kids would say, Philo. What a weird day for AB, Philo. We haven't seen one of these in, actually, I couldn't even tell
I
you.
would say that the last round of the chess.com Open when he was trying to defend this year and it just like the wheels fell off almost instantly for Anthony Barilla. The heater was on him and he just never seemed to be himself. And this is the first time since early this season that I've seen AB this dejected. And this is early in the tournament, so you would like to think he'll right the ship and bounce back tomorrow. You'd like to see him bounce back the rest of this round, but it's been a rocky one.
Yeah, he's gonna have a tough time grabbing one of those numbers.
Yeah. It would be an all-time comeback if Anthony Barilla could do that this weekend. Go bonkers the next 2 rounds and somehow find himself on the podium. It would be amazing. I just don't see it happening at this point.
Orem, birdie, 12. That second feature card is off to a great round 1 so far. There is the Marweed par.
A little bit of a cooler there for Marweed after the extensive stretch of fire.
Third for Burr onto the green is perfect, more or less. Like you said, Philo, hit that tree off the tee, not a problem.
Not a problem.
McMahon for another birdie. He is 9 under through 12. He has a chance to reel in Heimberg. And a birdie for Paul as well. And he's at 8. We got a 7, 8, and a 9 on that second feature card. And just one bogey between the 3 of them. Another tap in for Schultz as well. Star frame there. Calvin Heimberg. For the first time, maybe somebody reels him in. Macbeth or McMahon are on pace for it.
They're putting the fire to him. We'll see if it happens by the time this round is over. Always things could happen on the golf course. Don't want to start counting those birdies and scores just yet. Still got to earn them.
Babcock onto the green with his third. Looks like that's good enough for birdie. Simon's third. Drop in birdie coming his way. Terry, some of the best disc golfers in the world here on this feature card, and we haven't been seeing that exactly. What's it like on the ground right now?
Yeah, well, first of all, the air is completely still. There is not as much as even a 3 to 5 mile per hour wind coming through here. So there is no conditions to blame other than maybe a little of the humidity. But I'm not sure what's going on with this card. I've seen a lot of unforced airs and not a lot of energy either. And you'd expect so much different when you're talking about both AB and Simon on a card.
With you, Terry. Babcock, short birdie putt. Same for Buhr. And they are both at 4. So haven't thrown themselves out of it, but will need some solid back nines. Birdie for Simon as well. He is back to even on the day. And Barella is a triple bogey for AB.
On a par 5, man.
That's
Snowman.
That's AB's world, you know? Par 5s.
Self-inflicted snowman for Anthony Barella. Just hard to watch for the defending champ in the year that he's been having. Hey, these things happen though, you know. Hopefully he can just brush this one under the old rug, as they say, and let it just be a short little hiccup in a great season.
Tied for 79th. Doesn't have Austin Turner on the bag anymore, Philo. Slight change to his, his success he'd seen.
Didn't Austin Turner pick up a dub last week in Minnesota with the Majestic, I believe?
Oh, I think you're right, yeah. I saw he's actually tied for 17th or something today.
All right.
Maybe somewhere around there. Yeah, there he is. Tied for 17th.
You are correct.
7 down.
A couple holes left to play for Mr. Turner.
One of the world's best lefties, if not the. Marweed, 16.
Talk about difficulty here. Andrew Marweed trying to go hyzer, flip through the gap with the sidearm.
When it's your shot, huh,
I
Fi?
guess so, man. Sticking to his guns.
Sure enough. McMahon, 13. Tough birdie. Yeah, that's the miss. You get a 45-footer over there onto an elevated pin with Obi behind. Macbeth.
Check up in time. It does. Macbeth in position for a birdie.
Orem.
You see the difference in those two swings. I think Macbeth willed his disc onto that green, and everybody else is just kind of winging it out there, hoping something good happens for them.
11, Babcock throws the hyzer over the trees. See if he can find that tiny fairway.
Indeed he does. Anything down there on the fairway, you're feeling good about your opportunity, your chances. As soon as you miss this fairway, it's pretty much over. You're conceding playing for par, probably not going to have a swing.
The Iceman.
Oh, God. I was so close to that. Oh.
Tombstone, there you go, on the left edge of the fairway.
There it is.
Advantage of being able to go vertical here at the 11th. You can really cut off a lot of distance on this hole.
Simon.
Also utilizing the ability to go vertical, Simon Lizotte trying to chase down Ganon's drive. There you go, similar neighborhood.
AB.
That was under the bit there from Barella. They're tied up short and left.
Live with Orem for his second shot on 13's green. Likely just laying up for the par.
Yeah, similar to what we saw from Marweed a little while ago. Just not much doing. Just hook something out there.
Your feature card and gallery making their way down 11's fairway. Headed down the hill shortly. Fun fact, Andrew Marweed also recently hitched. Everyone's getting married, having babies on the Pro Tour these days, it seems like.
A lot younger field, you know.
Yeah,
Kids are young. Seem like
Even if they had a wedding cake or a wedding cookie, Philo.
maybe both.
Maybe both.
Cake with a cookie on top.
There you go. Perfect. Barella's drive not perfect as he lines up his second. Is there any way you get to the green here?
I guess maybe if you got Froggy and went sidearm roller, maybe you get something to touch ground right past that shadow, right where the sun and the shadow meets. Got to stand up and run a ways and then finally fall over left. It's a tough shot. There it is. Alrighty, and he's got most of it done. Look at this guy. That's one heck of a shot from AB. I know it didn't get all the way there. It's not parked, but that's good work.
Not doing much better from that spot. McMahon, his second on 13.
Dangerous place to take a long run.
Birdie putt for Marweed, green of 16.
Get to double digits. Marweed, no. Runs it long.
Orem, par putt, 13. Effective. We're still waiting for Paul to putt on 13. What a
Yes,
drive
we are.
that was. Babcock, second, 11.
Hard to drop a disc in a better spot. Straight up and down, 6 to 12 line, played up on the high side. There you go. That's how you draw it up. Excellent execution there from Babcock.
And now finally, Paul drops in the birdie and moves to 9, tying McMahon. Both 9 under through 13. That's assuming McMahon makes this short par putt.
I don't think he'll be missing this. Putter's been locked in since that opening miss. Nothing but makes.
Burr might like to be a little further right.
Ideally, yes, you'd like to be in the center of the fairway where the cameraman is ideal, but there's still room for him to shape something in there. He's going to have to go a little bit more stable.
Is he going high window here, Philo?
Potentially. I don't think he needs to. He could just put it right at the top of the ceiling of the window in front of him and just throw something a bit more stable and let the overstable drag it. There you go.
No way.
Ah, just missed it. See what he was going for.
Yeah, it was there, wasn't it?
It was there. Just got a little aggressive with the height. I don't think he had to be quite, barely missing the limbs, but that was the idea.
Matt Schlebach back on the bag for Burr this weekend. That man cooks a heck of a steak, Philo.
I saw his little clip on the old social medias this week. Pretty cool.
Simon second after a near perfect drive.
But I'm no slouch in the kitchen myself, man. My old man was a chef. I know how to cook.
Nice, man. are live with Paul on the tee of 14.
That is not good. Beth doing the commentary for us. Doesn't look great.
He's short and right of ideal?
I believe so.
Okay. We'll get a look at that once he gets down there. See if he wants to get froggy and challenge that OB with his second, or maybe the Marweed playing a layup. We'll see what he does. McMahon.
Yeah, this tee shot definitely requires a specific landing zone. You can't just wing this thing out there and try to make birdie. There's a little tiny bit of land down there, about 380 feet, 400 feet. Things start to bottleneck in a bad way down there. And you don't have that ceiling to work with. If you don't get far enough down the hill to have a uphill look at the target, it's really hard to make it. Some guys have been playing the up and over. We have seen that in the past, so if you end up short enough, you can still play the vertical route.
It's Burr's third. Could have been better, but still good enough. Doesn't cover that up.
5.5, 6 steps uphill putt. He should drill that.
It's like everything's so dumb. It's like sticky.
Orem, 14. Oh, Orem was trying to bend that right. The disc did not listen.
Yeah, that was hyzer only, fading out.
Birdie putt for Barella. And no reason not to green light everything at this point.
Tracking and just dribbles off left edge for Barella. You can definitely understand the frustration.
It is a game of imperfection. Sometimes more or less so.
Yeah, he's not quitting though. He's still trying. I like to see that from a guy who's struggling. So easy to throw the towel in and just not even try anymore. That had good intentions on that putt.
Simon still giving it his all as well.
That's a nice make up the hill. Side angle, easy for the weight of your body to get pulled off to the right, the same trajectory that his disc was on, and just catches enough change to stick.
Burr going back up the hill for par. Oh. How did that miss? Was that just right?
He might have turned it a little bit and caught that weird action the chains does when the disc is kind of flops out the opposite direction. Didn't see that coming.
Not at all. And Babcock can now grab 2 strokes on Burr. Par for AB, bogey for Burr.
Wow, man, what a roller coaster for those two guys today. World number 1, a little bit of a roller coaster. Anthony Barella not too far behind. Yeah, there it was.
Just on the right.
Kind of pushed the nose off to the right, and out she goes.
Jumping ahead to 17 with Andrew.
Stays clean. Well thrown there from Marweed in position.
They are getting the hot air balloon ready. The unfurling, even.
Keeps going and going and going. Goodness gracious.
Wow. Macbeth on 14. He's lined up. Why did he hate this? Just
He's
too
gonna
short?
have to, it's a little short of ideal. He's going to have to throw this really hard and really straight. You don't want to give this any chance of hitting anything. There it is. Let's see if it holds. Oh, no. Dragging to the left.
Oh, that's OB down there, likely. They do have him out of bounds after 2 is the update, as Orem smartly lays up short of that OB.
When you're out of position, you're out of position. Just got to take your medicine.
We've seen that today quite a few times, haven't we? Pressing the issue has not gone well.
Yeah, it typically doesn't.
Babcock, the class of your feature card, 2 strokes clear of the rest on the tee of 12.
There you go.
Simon will also opt for the forehand.
All right, just a little long. Nice favorable bounce back towards the target there. A little root love.
Barella.
Get off the base now. Close enough. Slides through the bullseye for Barella.
And Buhr will look to bounce back. Already 3 bogeys on the Buhr card.
It's wild, man. The man coming into this event with the hot hand, last 2 wins on tour. That's a little low. Going to need some help from the ground. Wow, look at that.
Help it gets. Skipping to bullseye's edge goes Buhr. That to get back to 4 on the day.
10 strokes off the pace.
McMahon is second on 13. This is too low. Did it fight? It did.
Wow. Good fortune there for Eagle. Usually see a red flag in those situations.
That's not far off from where Paul hit, honestly.
Correct, yeah. Not by much.
17 with Marweed attacking this Iowa-shaped green. Island green at that.
Ooh, is this going to be a little bit too much?
It's very close. Gets the green flag, though. 14 for Orm's third.
Routine approach stuff here from Matt Orm. Overstable midi. Right into the face of the hill. Slides it into the circle 1 area. There you go. 4 steps left for Matt Orm. Veteran play there.
We flying above 12 finally? Yeah, we are. Our Flight Factory drone giving us a good perspective on the green. Going to the knee and a straddle and a dad putt is Simon Lazat. No, sticking with the regular.
With authority. I will pay back for that last one back on hole 6. It didn't stick for him.
It's been rocky, but that's now 3 in a row for Simon.
And he keeps digging away.
No reason he couldn't birdie out. Barella. Two more short birdie putts. Buhr followed by Babcock. And Calvin Heimberg is still out in front. Your future cards trying to chase him down. We'll be right back.
The discovery of electricity, the first flight, democracy, splitting the atom, computers, modern medicine, space travel, and of course, the Royal Line from Latitude 64.
That's actually really nice.
Whoa, okay. If you are someone who likes to throw overstable and have it flex, that's gonna be a really good disc for you to check out at a 7-speed.
That flew really nice. No glide at all. I guess that's what it's made for, right? With the concave top, pretty cool.
I feel like that could be pretty useful, especially when throwing into some wind.
I think there's gonna be a lot of people who really enjoy the way this feels for the forehand.
I really love this. I definitely think there's a slot for this in the bag, and I can't wait to use it on tour.
Legends built it. The next generation is elevating it. The most dominant team in disc golf history just got deeper. World champions, record breakers, the future of the game, united under one banner. This isn't just competition, it's a legacy in motion. This is the next chapter. Discraft, built for flight.
Love that. Yep, fun little attraction. Giving the duck a run for its money. And if you want to ride the balloon or maybe catch the action in person, make sure you head to the Pro Tour website and grab a ticket. Tons of great action coming your way soon. Headed over to Europe and then back to Peoria. Ledgestone. I love Idlewild too, Philo. That's such a good one. Tons of great events, man. They're all good. Did it really? It's tough, man. Yeah,
Idlewild would eat me up, man, every year.
Oh. Macbeth, his third. So he was in bounds then. That was his third? Or is that just a...
We'll find out in a second.
We will find out. That was his third, okay. T of 13 with Babcock, who has grabbed 4 of the last 5.
And he's playing a pretty solid round. It's not lights out, but he's been holding his own. 1 bogey on the afternoon, back to hole 7. Himself another look at birdie here. Gonna get the old ham bone on the card.
Simon will opt for the backhand line. Swinging at something pretty slow.
That's impressive to earn that look, honestly. It's not the easiest. It's a lot easier to force the sidearm in there than to slide that backhand.
AB.
There you go. Similar to what we saw with Macbeth, just overpowering the trees. And look at this, curling up closer and closer. Call that 5 or 6 steps for birdie for Barilla.
Marweed on the green of 7. This was close, Philo. You were right to be worried.
Man, that did not look good in the air. I thought he was for sure crossing the boundary.
Wow.
Living on the edge. Marweed. Opportunity again to get to 10 under par. Inch his way up the leaderboard. Where would that put him if you could knock this in?
7.
Tied for 7th right now. All right, tied for 7th. You don't miss those.
93.25% on the year in C1X. Marweed converts again. Birdie putt for McMahon on 14.
Get in there. Oh, eagle. Banded.
Goodness. What a bid from distance. 13, Burr. That's good.
He put the heat on it. Missed a tree? No. Dead square on that thing.
Ooh. Thought that was going to finish inside there.
It's not been his day.
No. Par putt for Paul. No problem. Buhr, long look at birdie on 13. Dangerous green as well. Is he, Philo?
You can fade out a little bit. You just don't want to miss on the right side. Like that. Okay, just checks up just in time.
Aggressive.
I made it.
A little Houdini action from Buhr's perspective. Looked like it was going into the chains, but it had already passed it.
Macbeth 15.
Stay clean. A little to be desired on that tee shot. If you're Macbeth, you'd like to creep up over the hill a little bit more.
Birdie putt for Simon on 13.
See what he was going for. Such a tight line to putt. Off by centimeters.
Barbarella rumbled into circle 1 for this birdie look. AB 85% on the year in C1X.
I can appreciate that he's doing his full routine, even though the day's been a rocky one. Taking his time, doing his thing. Going to try to make this round as respectable as possible instead of just throwing a bunch of garbage out there. I like to see that for AB.
He's back to level somehow. McMahon 15 gets it around the corner.
That's where you want to be. And
ooh,
up on top, you got 250-foot chip shot in.
What a drive from Babcock. And to get to 7 and 4 in a row.
And he's taking it to the world #1. He's taking it to the guy that's right behind him, and Anthony Barella, who's not too far behind in the rankings and all that.
Yeah.
That's a good start to the tournament here for Babcock.
Yeah, 8 for 8, and now 9 for 9 in C1X on the day. Has yet to have one hit the floor from there. Buhr on the way back for par.
Left side stick.
Simon flings in the par, and they are on 14. On 15, Macbeth in his second.
That wasn't as bad as I thought, Ian. It looked like he was a lot shorter than that. Still got visual.
He hit the tree and kind of kicked up the fairway to the right a little bit.
That's still coming up a bit short there for Pablo. Constructed look as well.
18's tee, Andrew Marweed. He's got a chance to grab a share of 4th with a birdie finish.
Doesn't get to use his strongest swing, though. His sidearm going to have to rely on the backhand here. Get this thing moving through the gap and up and to the left. Look at this swing from Marweed. Get traveling left. It's drifting to the right just a little. There you go. That's what you'd like to see. Not ideal, but clean living. Anything out is good.
Oram, his second on 15. Man, he got right to the corner.
He fluffed it in.
That's what we had.
Hoping for some ground stickum. Good
Oh.
tree. That saved him at least 25 or 30 feet.
It kept him on circle's edge. Philo, are you a duck guy or a hot air balloon guy?
Under the circumstances, I'm rolling with the hot air balloon. This looks like a lot of fun. I would try it. Maybe with a parachute, but I would try it.
Let's check it on Terry, too. Terry, are you a duck man or a hot air balloon man? How are your heights tolerance?
I mean, what the duck kind of question is that? Of course you've got to go with Mama Duck. Over 60 feet tall. I mean, I will say, though, there's so much hot air right now out here with how sticky. I wouldn't be surprised if I could blow up that balloon on my own. It is... And, yeah, I'm going with Mama Duck all day long.
It is the world's biggest duck, so I'll give you that, Terry. Babcock, that's too wide.
Yeah, these guys have been having a hard time figuring out the tee shot here at the 14th. We haven't seen many quality ones so far this afternoon.
Barella next to tee.
This fades. There we go. Ian, this could be the one. He didn't throw it as hard as he can throw. Nice metered swing there for Barella. Let's see if he got enough length out of that to have the uphill look.
I always thought it had to be like kind of cold out to get the hot air balloons in the air, you know? Well, they're giving it a try. Simon, that's why you do hot air balloon rides in the morning. It's a traditional thing.
I wouldn't know, man. That's way out of my price bracket.
My grandma bought them. Shouts to Grandma Anderson. Got the whole Anderson clan up in hot air balloon, man.
It's awesome.
Yeah. McMahon and his second on 15. What a drive this was. Wow, that's a shot you don't see often on here.
What execution on the spike hyzer, man.
That was
That's
so cool.
Oh, those could get away from you so quickly on this hole, man. It takes a lot of courage to throw that shot.
Good way to make it stick on that green, though.
That's one of the slipperier ones on this whole property. What is happening out here?
I do not know. Well, somehow
fought
that
through, huh?
Came back to the fairway.
Wow. Okay.
He looks as perplexed as we are, Philo.
Definitely not the sharpest golf we've seen from a couple of these guys on this card this afternoon. We all kind of have high expectations for Buhr and Barella. They're such phenomenally talented young men and wonderful competitors. The way that they carry on with each other throughout the rounds is really cool to see these guys, the camaraderie, you know, the sportsmanship, the friendliness, the respect that they have for each other. For both of them to be having a rocky day at the same time is just kind of like makes you want to scratch your head a bunch and wonder if somebody got the old voodoo doll out poking at them.
On 15, Oram has a birdie look.
Yes, sir. That tree saved him. That thing was running off to places undesired. Good stop there. Nice connection.
This is a Morning Wood replay for Matt Oram. Morning Wood users are locked in all day, Philo. They think clearly under pressure. They stay sharp whether they're throwing for birdie, crushing their workout, or leading meetings. If you're bold enough to test it yourself, you can do so for 20% off your next 72 hours. Just use coupon code DGPT20 over at getmorningwood.shop/DGPT.
I can't believe that's a real thing, man. I'm sorry. I'm dying over here. I thought you were joking.
No.
Wow.
Would you recover, Philo? Can you recover, Philo?
That's a better question asked reserved for my wife. I'm joking.
Marweed, throwing 2 on 18. Let's get back on the rails, man. Here we go. Here we go. This is looking good from Andrew.
Yep.
Oh, sneaks it inbounds. A little short.
He likes those circle too.
He does. He does. 14, Ganon Buhr. Oh, you talked about this a little while ago, Philo. This over-the-top play, huh?
It's available for the guys that have the ability.
Up, up, and away he goes. Where she lands? Circle 1. Oh, sweet.
Pretty cool stuff, man. It works out. It's fun to watch.
The arm talent needed for that shot is wild.
That was well over the trees. You're talking
Yeah.
65 feet in the air. It's like throwing it up at the water tower at Eureka Lake or something.
McMahon on 16. Hyzer flips it into circle 2.
That's a wide open look. That stepper's been looking nice for him today.
On the same Oram.
Stay clean. Stay clean. No. Just a little bit too much drag on that.
Second for AB on 14.
Going grenade. Going Bruno Mars out here on the 14th. AB.
Tombstone.
Green flag.
Some fantastic camera work right there by our operators.
Great work, fellas.
Those are tough. Spike Heiser and grenade.
Tough to follow.
Does not.
Just get super skinny up there in the air, huh?
Macbeth, 16.
Oh my gosh, man.
Does it find a way? Does it find a way?
It's putting.
Wow. What else can you say but wow? That was absolutely shanked.
14. Simon is second. He found a Simon line as well.
Yeah, you're not going to let the young fella have all the fun.
Oh, bullseye!
Even better.
Simon dropping a lawn dart into the bullseye.
He's like reminding them who started all of this.
Marweed, green of 18, circle 2 for birdie.
This would be huge for Marweed. Potentially a lead card?
Yeah, depending on PDGA numbers.
From range, Cookie Monster. You better count that.
There we go.
Awesome. Awesome make from Marweed. Philo, what makes Marweed so good at putting besides between the ears part?
I think a lot of it has to do with his structure. You see that base, nice strong base. He really uses that pendulum swing all the way through. And look at when he's releasing that plastic. It's a little bit lower than what I usually like to coach. The hand comes to the eye on my release, but he's just got this thing dialed in on his spine line. This thing is never leaving the pole once this thing leaves his hand. Great balance, great rhythm, great extension. Just full trust, man, full commitment in what he's doing, and that's why the disc keeps going in.
And discover the difference at Disc Golf Deals USA with pictures and scaled weights of every disc, same-day shipping, rewards on every purchase, expert reviews and comparisons. That's your game, our passion over at Disc Golf Deals as Babcock throws a dime.
That'll work.
Gorham, 16, birdie putt.
Yeah, it's a lot to do. Up the hill, trying to bend it left to right.
An absolute tombstone from AB and a birdie putt. Looks like circle 2.
Pushes it off to the right there on the stepper for AB. Back to Ganon Buhr.
Right in the chains, but it settles.
Chains did their job that time. Grabbed him up, snatched it in.
And this is a par putt for Gavin. His tee shot was a little short and left, had to lay up.
Just enough to get over the rim. Used all the body English to get that one home.
Par for AB. And Simon. What a second that was. Over the top, into the bullseye, drops in birdie. And all of a sudden, Simon woke up. That's birdie on 4 of the last 5. McMahon.
What'd I tell you about this guy? Once that guy's putter gets going, you better look out. Eagle McMahon. One of my picks on Hold My Bag this weekend, putting in work on a Friday round.
That's only his 5th putt in C1X, Philo. He's throwing really well.
That helps. Definitely necessary on a track like this. Got to shoot yourself into position.
And you get McMahon in tier 3? That feels like cheating in next Hold My Bag, fella. That's crazy.
Where he is, man. I
Wow.
don't choose the tiers. This is where the people are. I don't choose their rankings.
That is a solid value there, McMahon. That Barella pick, not shaping up great, fella.
Hey, sometimes you win. Sometimes you...
That's why they call it gambling and not winning?
Something like that.
Yeah. Birdie putt for Paul, 16's green.
No way.
Excuse me, that's gaming, not gambling.
Not hit a single thing.
15, Lazat.
Gallery marching up the fairway.
And the man is on a heater. You don't want to cool him off here, Philo.
Well, he's done well to turn the rocky start around and fight back, get things under par, and see if we can get this thing to the clubhouse, earn a couple more birdies. Off to a good start here. Solid drive. Just shy of the crest of the hill.
Burr looks a little early.
A little more left than you'd like to be, and you weren't wrong.
Yeah, so should be inside, like in the fairway.
Macbeth, a little more work than you'd like on this par putt. Just gets it in though.
Hey man, he doesn't care. It's
Not-
in.
No pictures on that scorecard. Cyber Leaf as Macbeth walks out of the woods. Babcock, 15.
That's ideal. That's how you draw it up. Either push it up there to the top of the hill, let that thing turn over and fall, and that's it, man. Don't need much more than that. Just working with about a 7-foot gap kind of up there where that spotter's standing. That's the ideal. There you go. A little wider for maybe. Yep, there you go. Catches the tree. You got to throw it at the spotter and fade.
So sad.
McMahon, 17's tee. Oh.
Options. I think he's far enough up the fairway. He's not as far back as we saw with Marweed earlier when all he had was the layup option. He might be able to force something up there, but game time decision for Eagle, especially under the circumstances he's in.
Right.
Par won't hurt him here.
Or him.
You're lucky.
No. That's a great second kick, though. Keeps him in the middle.
Macbeth.
Gosh, hurry.
Looked a little left and a little flat there, Ian.
A backhand out the forehand line there, huh?
I like it. If you pull it off, you're really going to press up the fairway a long way, get that full flight out of it.
Barella's tee shot not great. This is second. Can he cover it up? That's the fairway likely. Oh, it's going, Philo. Not a lot of movement up here.
Eagle keeps clawing his way up.
Other than that, yeah, huh?
Macbeth has cooled off a little bit. Keep an eye on Marweed. He's done, right? He's at 11 for the day. We're keeping a close eye on him. Eagle's there with a couple to play.
Yeah, the
Off
Robinson
fairway.
brothers have a lower number than Marweed. So that's the tiebreaker there. But I guess neither of them on if McMahon can shoot well, huh?
Yeah, McMahon's got to go par birdie or better, par, and then he can hold where he's at now. Last guy on the lead car tomorrow.
A lovely second from Simon.
That's touch 100% right there.
Little dude is loving the hot air balloon.
I'm ready, Dadder.
Pretty cool little disc golf here, too.
Not bad at all.
Matching pops. That's adorable. 17, and Orem his second.
Wisely laying up, out of position.
Someone check my footing. I just want to see how much
Buhr, oh, he didn't even make it around the corner, Philo.
Yeah, it's big time out of position. It's so hard to earn yourself a look at a birdie when you're here.
Again, just making sure his stance is legal.
The direction of the target, which is going to look like it's to his left versus where his foot's pointed. These are always awkward. Patent pending, body pointed to the left, trying to throw right. World-class arm speed from a standstill. Is he going to make up the difference on this? Wow.
Sure is. And sneaks it under the OB rope, back in bounds.
Split the tree.
Perfectly pin high.
I don't know if you can cut it any closer.
About a quarter inch, maybe.
It was out of bounds when it hit the ground, and somehow it just inertia pushed it underneath that rope. That tombstone, you'd have been toast.
Babcock, ideal drive. Need to capitalize on this.
Absolutely. Especially with the round he's putting together. Just one bogey on the afternoon. Bunch of great golfing. Routine disc golf approach here.
It's too high.
Favorable tree kick. Keeps him inside that 30-foot.
This is where if I have that, if my pink putter was still like chilling, I'd like be comfortable ripping that. Because I like that on more of like a 360 shot. Yeah. But like the other, my putter slot's just weird right now.
Macbeth second on 17.
Much else you can do.
McMahon second on the same.
Also too tied up to get aggressive. It's a nice out there from Eagle. Gives himself a nice big window to shoot through. Should be pretty unobstructed, clean line of sight to the target.
Schultz had a nice drive. This is second.
Should be a green flag. Yes, sir. 2 more spins. That might have ran over that brick. Good play.
15, long birdie bid for AB. My goodness.
He put the perfect action on a long putt. Turn that thing over, stall it out. Tried to get it to collide with the chains, not to be.
Third for Paul. Managed to hold nicely after the tee shot.
Could you like come over here and just like try to project it maybe? Yeah, outside. Okay.
Babcock getting an in or out ruling on the circle there. It sounds like he's outside and will line up the step through.
Wisely not marking his disc to make sure that he maintains that outside the circle marking.
That is such a funny wrinkle in our sport, isn't it?
It is.
It's there, though. You got to be aware of it.
Good on him for being mentally aware of that. Gives him the opportunity to put a stepper on it.
Oh!
Wow, Ian, how did that happen?
No way that fought through. That caught a ton of branch.
How did that change direction so quickly and go from to the right to... Oh, he did have it up. Okay, he just fought through it all and it just got through. It looked like he turned it over a little bit in the tree.
Gotcha.
Changed the trajectory of it, but he just fought through it all.
What a tree birdie from
We'll take that.
Babcock. Yes, he will. Birdie bid for Buhr.
What a birdie.
What a birdie after that drive from that spot.
Not many people are courageous enough to take on that second shot from that position, to throw something up into the air where the wind typically at this course is treacherous and will just blow that thing so far off the fairway. Taking advantage of the calm situations and trusting his game.
His third.
Most important approach of his afternoon. No! Trickles out.
So he'll be throwing 5 from the drop zone. And it's not the easiest up and down either. Let's get it onto the green. $16, Simon.
Stand up.
Just in time. Did it kiss that tree?
Yep, he got through clean into the wood chips. Simon was hot, showing off the Badger flip-up game. Old school disc golf right there.
For birdies on 6 of the last 7. Buhr. A total miss from Buhr, early release, but gets a green flag as a consolation prize. Gavin, taking the Marweed line here, Philo.
Well, I guess when you're playing in the woods, tight line like this, either way, it's going to take a lot of trust to fire that thing out there. So if this is your forte, you stick to your guns. Babcock, not quite enough angle on that one. It was starting to shape up, got stable a little late.
Third for Macbeth on 17. Saw that one a few moments ago. How's that for par? 16, Barella. AB can't find the line either.
Such a tricky tee shot, Ian.
A putt for double bogey for McMahon from circle's edge.
No. Eagle.
A triple after all that amazing work. The man was bogey free until finding a triple on 17. Oram for par. Gosh, I mean, it wasn't even out of bounds by much on that approach, you know? It just kind of trickled OB.
Yeah, that was a rough one there for Eagle. Prime position to be all up in the mix tomorrow on moving day, and sends him backwards in a hurry. Bunch.
He was in fourth, right?
Yep. He was going to be on the lead card tomorrow, and now Isaac Robinson's sitting back in that spot.
So Schultz, nice birdie. And a triple coming. A hockey stick over for McMahon.
Man, we saw some brutal big numbers today. That snowman earlier, now this triple now. Taking all the hot air out of this balloon, man. Come on.
Are we riding in the Are we in the air or are we on the ground right now? We are in the air? Oh, this is...
No.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Wow, got AJ Risley up in the balloon.
I'm sure they got that thing tied down, though. I saw the rope.
Yeah, tough to steer those things once they get going, Philo. Not a whole lot of that going on.
There's no steering wheel on that thing. What do?
You go up or you go down?
You hope on it and you lean one way and list, and hopefully you go that way. Like, how's it work?
You just hope you go down in the right spot, man.
No thanks.
And Buhr in the woods for his second on 16. He's short and right of the fairway after the drive was left and kicked right. Tomahawk from Buhr. Gets to circle 2 at least. He's got a chance to save par.
Looks like a pretty open look as well.
How far to that? Circle's edge?
You sure didn't hit these ones?
What might be the other?
Orem, 18. The glasses are off. The disc is through the gap perfectly. Just like the Lord drew it up, Philo.
Just what the man was open for.
Yep. Second for Barella. Trying to find his way onto the green. Maybe in the bucket. He will have to settle for green and a par putt. 18, Macbeth.
Come on, go, go, go.
Ooh. So bad it's good again, Philo. McMahon, can he bounce back? No. Yeah. Babcock, 16. Long birdie look. Giving fairway for this bid.
Oh.
Yeah. Seriously. Buhr, a long look at par. And those whiskers are FPO whiskers, I believe. No, they're MPO. Oh, there's 2 sets, aren't there? Yeah, that is the FPO one. First make at circle 2 Philo, right when he needs it. He called it. Keeping himself in this thing. Keeping himself 7 off the lead. He's got 2 more to go. Can close it to 5 with 2 rounds to go. What a make. A monster make. That had to be 55, 60 feet up the hill. Par for AB. Simon dropping in birdie has really caught fire in this back 9. I wish he could throw away that front 9, huh? Babcock dropping in par. And we are headed to break while they head into the skies. Catch you in a few. back to the Discmania Challenge. We are in crunch time on the network. Commercial free the rest of the way through, thanks to our friends at 1010 Discs, as that forehand roller goes the wrong way for McMahon after a tree hit.
Probably have to force the issue if you want any chance of saving par here.
I don't see it there.
Hard to do.
Orem. A tough spot for his second, but he does about what you should from there.
Yeah, he just played to the biggest part of the fairway up on the left side, give himself an angle.
17's tee, Simon, who is 6 under on the back 9 with 2 to go.
Does it get lucky? Does it fade? Look at this, Ian. Somehow.
Oh, it's a bonus drive even.
Somehow. So bad, it's great.
Simon says, perfect shot. Buhr.
A lot of the guys like to argue there's more air in trees than the tree itself. So
yeah.
There's room up there.
Oh my goodness.
Inside line.
And a nasty kick left for Buhr. Ganon Buhr telling us what's wrong with the throw. Grip issues.
It's tough on muggy days.
Babcock.
Stand up.
Try to talk it into something good, and he does. Finds himself out there in the center of the fairway. See what he can dial up towards the green.
Barola.
Also taking the Simon line. Does he get as fortunate? Indeed he does. 3 clean. Buhr off and to the left, I believe.
Correct, sir. McMahon, his third on 18. Does he try to get to the green from here?
Lowry approved. Out there in the fairway, I believe, still, but man, what a crush.
Schultz, his second. Ooh, hear the snap on that one.
My fingers hurt. Excellent shot there. Shallow circle 2.
Schultz will have that to get to 5 under on the round. Orem, his third, after laying up to here with his second.
Got to tip the cap to this second feature card this afternoon. These guys really went out there and balled out.
Yeah, 9, 2 8s, and a 4 on the card currently with a chance to improve on 18.
Good golfing throughout that card.
We've got Ganon Buhr off the fairway left for his second. Just trying to lay up short of that OB area.
What? That's not what you wanted.
What?
Plinko and moved him to the right in a big way.
I just hit the last one.
Tough. Climb up the hill. Gonna probably not have any visual on the target, if anything at all. I think that's what everybody else is aiming for when you miss that first shot on 17. Just to be able to see the target on your third.
Speaking of third, Paul. Drop in par for a 9 under round 1 for Macbeth. Here's where they are headed on 17, the Iowa-shaped green. Basket pretty close to where Des Moines is. You and Des are both balking at that.
It depends on which way you look at it. No, I'm joking. I don't know.
Des thinks it needs to be a little shorter and lefter.
From their perspective or from that perspective we just saw it? Because I think it's from their perspective is when you see it as it lies on the map.
Yeah, from this perspective.
So then it would, be more down and left. Correct.
Buhr's third. Philo.
Yeah, If there were ever time for an Iceman dime, this is the one, man. He needs to get this close and get out of here. Get through. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Babcock in his second. And Buhr has been marked as out of bounds, so he'll be throwing 5 from the drop zone, looking at a double. Just one too many rotations on that for Babcock, sliding through Iowa. Out of bounds. To the drop zone he goes. Barella hoping to avoid that fate. A putter onto the green goes AB.
It's nice to be able to throw a slow disc into an island green, Dean. That's the big difference between the result for Babcock and Buhr when you think about it. You know, Babcock didn't have to throw something so fast and skip like that. That thing would have stuck. Had to look for a birdie.
McMahon tried to make par work on 18. Gave it a great bid, but it will be a bogey finish. And that's actually, gosh, 4 over in the last 2 holes for McMahon after he was 11 under on the round. He was coming off late.
Yeah, he had the opportunity. It seemed like the most likely one to catch Calvin Heimberg. Simon Lazat bounces over the little brick wall into the island. Green flag. Sigh of relief.
Green of 18, Schultz for birdie. Par finish for Schultz. Oram wouldn't mind one of those. And he gets it.
There's a roll tide putt to finish the day. Strong first round for your runner-up from last year, Matthew Oram.
Firmly in the mix. Just 5 off the lead of Heimberg. That Heimberg round. Wow.
Holding strong.
Appreciating it after watching all of this golf.
Too bad we got to see none of it, really.
know,
You know,
yeah.
that would have been fun to get a peek at that action.
Buhr with his 5th. He has that for a 6 and a double. Also at the drop zone is Babcock, but throwing 4. Should be good enough for a bogey.
You know, those final putts on the round can always be a little nervy. You don't want to.
Speaking of bogeys, there's the McMahon.
Rough finish.
Beth in for the par and a 9 under round 1. Schultz in at 4. And we already saw Oram in with his par. Birdie putt for Simon. Green of 17.
Just like that, Simon Lazat pops up another 5 or 6 names on your leaderboard. Caught up with Ganon Buhr for the meantime.
What a day he's had, Philo.
Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
The man started the day with a double bogey. He had 5 bogey strokes in his first 9 holes.
And what a back 9 he's putting together. Barella Nice birdie putt as well. Yeah, Simon is 1 off of perfect pace on the back 9. A tail of 2 9s for that man. Bogey putt for Babcock. Little tester.
It is indeed. They've been barely creeping over the rim from time to time for Gavin Babcock, excuse me. Big time moment here on the green of the 17th. Told you, Ian.
Yeah.
Never count them too early. 5-6 meter putt coming down the stretch. The pressure ramps up. Easy to get in between your own ears, and happened to Gavin there. Fortunate.
Ganon for double. So 2 3s and 2 6s coming here on 17. Stroke swings. Keep that in mind for Sunday, huh?
Big time, and that's exactly what they were trying to do with these last 2 holes when they made the adjustment from previous layouts, is to create some extra drama coming down the home stretch.
My compliments to the chef, Philo.
They have done that. No doubt about it.
Look at a great course out here at Pickett Park. The double is in for Babcock. That's a stroke too late, though. He will slide back to 6 and made his way all the way down to 8.
Final hole of our opening round here in Des Moines. Stepping up to the hole 18 tee pad. You better buckle down and get ready to throw something
Pucker
super
up.
straight, man. This is a tight one here, guys. It requires all of your focus, a lot of courage, and a little bit of luck. You can get yourself through this maze of trees here and get yourself up and to the left. It really opens things up to get past that mandatory. Get yourself a look. See how skinny it gets between the land with the tree and limbs hanging down right before the drop zone. Not a lot of space to work with in that airspace. Want to take it out and around if you got a great sidearm. Bounce it right around circle 1. Dribble in there. Knurl up for your closing hole birdie if you can do it. It's a tough get. Not surprised it's nearly a half a stroke over par on the afternoon.
Is it playing toughest on the track?
Yeah, I believe so. I can't believe any other hole would be playing more difficult, and it is, Ian. You are right.
Wow.
#1 handicap on the track.
Yeah, thanks to Zenny for the fly-through. Reminder, you got coupon code DGPT for 10% off your order there. And nice little wrinkle about 18 is that tee-pad's back there because that's where Ganon wanted it, Philo. He helped with the design last year, making this a little tougher. Yeah. Lazat. Perfectly through the middle goes Simon. Oh no, a late tree though. Buhr. He is 10, I was thinking 9 off the lead now after that double. We'll need to shoot some amazing golf on these last 37 holes. The Macbeth line? Almost. Doesn't make it out though, does he?
I don't think he did. It looked like it had a sliver of a chance for 1/10 of a second, and I think he caught something.
Babcock.
Babcock gets through clean.
And in the clubhouse with Terry Miller is the GOAT, Paul Macbeth. Let's head on down.
Round 1 complete. Paul Macbeth joins me after a 9-under effort. Paul, what's your assessment of that round?
Started out well. Felt pretty good on the putting green. I had a little shaky spot, just trying to work on things, especially tournament time. So had a little bit of lapse out there, but then figured it out. And overall good, but I wish I would have closed better.
Yeah, and speaking of closing out, you kind of stalled out, so to speak, over the last 5 or 6 holes after such a good start. What can you attribute that to anything?
Just got really humid. I couldn't really find a grip. It definitely heated up the back 9 for sure. I just struggled with grip, early releasing them, and yeah, I wasn't in good positions for my up shots. Still parred out, but I wish they were birdies.
You said you were working on some things. You also weren't playing last weekend.
2 weeks ago.
Excuse me, yeah, a couple weeks ago. What have you been doing to keep yourself in shape, and why weren't you playing a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean, I'd played every tournament up to that point, and just a lot of traveling, going to the West Coast, and then my brother got married last week, so I kind of knew going to Vegas for his wedding, and then coming here to Des Moines, and then off to Europe, there wasn't going to be a stop. And this is kind of the point of the year where we've only had 2 back-to-back events on the MPO side, and we're about to play like 8 in the next 11 weeks. So I want to take a little break before that because it's just going to be a grind through there. 2 majors, and well, I mean, if you go to the end of the year, there's 3 more majors still. So it's going to be a grind, and that's really the only spot I felt like a break would be able to. Be the only point I'd be able to have a break because, you know, then you get right into the majors, and then you get into the playoff events, and then the championship. So it's like nowhere really through there that you can take a break.
Yeah, certainly all about pacing yourself. My last question then would be, we saw Heimberg come into the clubhouse very early on today with a 13 under. You're 4 off that pace. What are we looking at over the next couple of days? What do you think you're going to need to do to claim a title here again?
I don't know the forecast. It's been all over the place. I was surprised that we got sun today. It definitely warmed up throughout the day. So I think it'll be, you know, weather dependent on kind of what the scores are going to be and how you have to attack this course, because as you saw in the last hole, I slipped and it's been dry for almost 24 hours out here. So it could get really sloppy, and we'll see.
All right. Well, we're certainly uncertain what's going to happen, but Paul Macbeth after round number 1, 9 under par.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the time there, Paul. We saw an AB forehand roller during the break, Philo. It looked like I got out at least. Buhr off in the woods left as well. See what he has on the way out. And you can stay hydrated out there on the course with the best electrolytes on the market, Instant Hydration. Use code DGPT and get 33% off over at instanthydration.com. Don't drink that water, though. Get some tap water. Maybe bottled water. That's got amoebas.
You need some reverse osmosis water.
Wow, that's some fancy stuff, Philo. Living right up there in Spokane, huh?
Yeah, you don't have much of a choice. So they say.
Yeah. Simon, ready for his next. It will be his second.
Little flexor.
Oh.
Oh, Simon. Gets past the big bush. That's half the battle. Still in the fairway, but you never know. Simon could send one home from there.
That is caddy and cameraman Dustin Wolf right there. I'm sure you can catch this round on Simon's vlog later. Barella. Should be his third.
That's not an anthill.
Oh, yeah.
Hot putting them in it.
Man, fire ants are no joke. You ever been attacked by those?
Oh, yeah. Rock Hill?
Yeah. I got
Winthrop every year. You put your bag down, next thing you know, you're just scrambling.
Yeah, that's where I got hit too. North Carolina, but close. See if AB can shape this onto the green. Left of that Mando and right of the OB.
Trying to keep it close to fair ground as much as possible. Beat down and sent out of bounds. This just been one of those days for Anthony.
Yeah. Another great perspective on where that landed from our Flight Factory drone. Reminder, you got coupon code DMC for 10% off all Discmania gear over at flightfactorydisc.com. You can also grab some Calvin Heimberg gear there to celebrate his awesome day. Burr.
That's how you draw it up.
Three nice, well, two good shots after a rough drive from Burr. That's that for par.
Well, par still gaining you half a stroke on the field. Nothing to scoff at. It's not an easy birdie at all, and it's just as difficult to make par here.
And it's Babcock and his second.
Heck of a bounce back. Picking up the dub on the 17th, in position here to recover, make the birdie on the 18th, get back to 7 under par. Look at this, just outside the bullseye. Hop Gavin back up into a big tie at 7 under, 18th place with a bunch of names. Eagle McMahon, Ben Calloway, Austin Turner, Joel Freeman, Connor O'Reilly, Zach Nash, Luke Taylor, bunch of guys.
And there is our hot air balloon still floating around out there. Pretty cool, Philo.
In the golden hour out in Des Moines, Indianola. Beautiful afternoon. A little hot, a little sticky, but everybody's in the festive, happy vibe out there, enjoying our top pros taking on this wonderful course out here at Pickard Park.
Just a quick pitch up with his fifth. No way that just happened. Gross.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
What can you do, you know?
At least it didn't happen like on a Sunday league card, you know.
It's much worse to happen that time. That's true. Hard to be a defending champion and come out and get snubbed by the course. I mean, he kind of did self-inflict himself some wounds out there earlier in the round and tried to pull it back together, but yeah, it's just been a rocky one out there for Anthony.
Simon, long look at birdie. Don't count this man out from range.
You know he wants to get the people excited. Oh, come on.
Simon.
How much closer could it be?
Dead
Half an
center.
inch, quarter inch.
Just a touch short from Lazat. What an effort. The showman trying to please this crowd.
Come on, man. Look at that. How does that not just get over the rim?
Denied.
All the shapes. Great effort there from Simon once again, coming up short, leave himself a little 6 or 7 meter look for his par, get out of here, try to hang on to that tied to 25th position.
Barella in for a 7. Got a snowman and a hockey stick on that Barella card today. Hopefully we never see that again, Philo.
Agreed.
Par putt for Simon after a rude roll. It covers up that roll nicely. Buhr. And a birdie look. 4? Okay, that's what I thought.
First drive, caught the tree, second one, pitched out, third shot, got him there, trying to get that up and down for his par.
It is a real birdie putt for Babcock, though, and he does convert. And welcome into the booth. An interesting day one, that's for sure, Philo.
No doubt about it. We're looking to see Ganon Buhr and AB put on a show for us today. The guy with the 2 hot hands on tour. Obviously, Ganon Buhr, last couple of wins on tour, and then AB's been playing one heck of a season. Bunch of top podium finishes recently, and then just drops an egg today. Neither of them really showed up. We saw a bunch of other guys, though, putting some work in on the course, and they're going to be in a really nice position for the rest of the weekend with the majority of the heavy sharks off of their tail.
Is Buhr out of this, Philo?
I would have to say it's close, man. I mean, he could do some damage tomorrow, and the guys up top have a rocky day. It's possible. Anything's possible in sports. So I don't want to say it's all over for him, but it's definitely behind right now.
Behind the 8 ball.
Behind the 8 ball,
yeah,
for sure.
There. We're going to send it off to one more last break on the network. On the other side, we'll have the after show, OTB shot of the day, as well as some interviews. We'll catch you there.
What's going on, guys? Hold My Bag just launched the greatest disc golf fantasy game in the universe.
Hold My Bag just dropped the best fantasy disc golf game the planet has ever seen.
I want to tell you guys about the newest disc golf fantasy game on the market.
One of my favorite parts is the Hold My Bag. This is something that we started doing, and it's actually a lot of fun.
Bend the reality of what a disc can be and discover Ultra Soft plastic. Ultra Soft has the best grip and flex of any plastic Prodigy has ever made. Check out the entire collection today on ProdigyDisc.com or your local retailer.
Better. Thank you.
Discover Estonia. Feel the thrill of Tallinn. The European Disc Golf Festival kicks off July 17th with the world's top players. Get your tickets now at svibi.com.
EDGE is a nationally recognized 501c3 charitable organization.
What we do is we empower the teachers with complete programming along with the equipment and a standardized curriculum. So you have a one-stop shop for teachers and youth educators. That's really what EDGE is. It makes everything simple for the teacher to get involved with disc golf.
If we want a disc golf to be recognized, we need to introduce disc golf to the youth. And if nothing else, they've got a healthy game that they can enjoy with their families throughout the rest of their lives.
Your membership dollars have a huge impact on the growth of the game of disc golf. The PDGA uses membership dollars to provide and aid disc golf as it spreads across the globe. From tools like the PDGA app and Tournament Manager, services like the TD Helpline, and grant programs that support the growth of disc golf globally. Your active membership also brings you access to select member benefits, including free and discounted access to the Disc Golf Network. So sign up today, and we'll see you out on the course.
Tournament Central, taking a look at your top 10, and Philo was a bit of an off day for some of the biggest names in disc golf.
You made a very interesting observation just a few minutes ago. This is probably one of the first times that we will not see anybody from tomorrow on one of our top 2 cards. I mean, we saw not much of any of those guys other than Andrew Marweed. He was the only guy left on the course, and a smidgen of Isaac by the time the 2 top cards got on the course today. So yeah, it's kind of an unusual afternoon for us.
Bunch of fresh faces.
Fresh faces.
These faces, though, Philo, they made some funny ones after these shots.
Sounds like dudes were chewing on the lemons this afternoon and just having a hard time figuring things out. That was the rocky start there for Simon Lizotte with the double. Anthony Barella on the second. I think this was just a miscalculation or something. No, this was at the fourth, excuse me. Similar fate at the second. Took an OB stroke and struggled to get things together. Eagle picking up a hockey stick at the 17th after a drive that should have gave him an opportunity.
And then finished with a bogey too on 18.
Yeah.
4 over in the last 2.
Ganon Buhr having a bit of a struggle out there. It was hard to watch at times for some of our top talented players out here, just having a hard time finding a rhythm and trying to chase down the pace of Calvin Heimberg this afternoon.
And our man Terry Miller caught up with your world number 1. Let's hear from Ganon.
After the opening round, Ganon Buhr joins me. Ganon, a 4 under today. What do you have for us?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what to say. I was just kind of exhausted the whole day. It felt like I didn't really get any good sleep last night, and I don't know. I just didn't really have much energy out there. I tried to manufacture some, and I was doing decent after my bogey on hole 1. I got all the way to 4 under through 7, but I don't know. This week has been real long for me. I've had something every day. I didn't get to have a chance to play one like real practice round, and just waking up early a lot of mornings. I feel like it just kind of weighing on me right now, and I'm gonna battle back no matter what. But it's just so hot out there, and it's tired. It's just kind of a mix of things that kind of led to that. It feels like.
Well, I'm going to touch on what I think are 2 of them. One, I'll go off what you just said about, is there expectations? Do you, whether you put them on yourself or the fans or the state or anyone else, are there expectations out here for you?
Definitely. Like, I don't want to let the fans down, which feels like I just did today. I mean, obviously I can still shoot some crazy rounds to somehow give myself a chance, but I mean, I've birdied every hole out here. It just is so frustrating being like 3 down through 12 when I can play, not even try, and be 9 down through 12. And it's like, I don't even know how that happens. And, I was looking at scores today like I usually do. And, not that threw me off, but I knew that people were just shredding. I mean, there was so many double-digit rounds, and this place is just not like that. It feels like I play the same round if it's windy versus if it's not windy. So it kind of just affects the competitors more than it does me. But when you feel like you're expected to birdie every hole, you don't want to let the home crowd down. And I don't know, it's just a mix of things, and it was really frustrating. Obviously gonna keep my head down and try to battle back, but really just going to try to get my best finish I can, head into Europe with a fresh mindset, and yeah, just get some rest.
Well, I want to touch on one other component of what you're just referencing with the heat. Did you have grip issues out there, and were there any more than any other event?
I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of it was to do with just my head maybe, but at the same time, it felt like, the last 4 holes in a row, I pulled every shot. So it's like, it's really confusing why something like that would happen. Early release every shot. I'm just can't even think right now. But I mean, everything was going left, and even the times that I felt like I would be able to scramble my way, like on 17, but I thought I threw a perfect approach to give myself an easy par, I just hit a tree I couldn't see, and it kicked me to a spot that was just horrible because I was like 340 out, tree on my left side that, like, when you're throwing the forehand, you're kind of pulling your left hand down, and it was in my head. So I early released it, but it's like too short to where like I'm not gonna like lay it up and just concede the bogey. So yeah, I mean, I made a couple mistakes out there today, which I've just never done. I've played here probably hundreds of times, and I've never hit the hillside on hole 9 and gone OB. Like, it's just stupid stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna go out there tomorrow, no expectations, and probably just send it basically and see what happens.
Well, again, if there's one thing we've seen about you in the last couple of years is coming back for rounds 2 or 3, making a late push is something that's certainly in your wheelhouse. I love the words you just used. You're going to send it, and we're looking forward to that tomorrow. So best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. Any reaction to the Ganon words, fellow?
Not much. You know, I don't know about being tired and 20 years old. You can start talking about tired when you get to master's age, buddy. But you should have plenty of gas in the tank in your young body to be out there going week after week. I know the expectations of being a world #1 player got to be astronomical. I've never dealt with anything like that. Guys like Paul McBeth and Ricky Wysocki, the champ, you know, the guys who've been demanded a lot of their time pre-tournaments. I can relate to that for him. I can give that to him on that, you know. I can understand him being a little frustrated not getting a full practice round in, but he's the top talent in the field. He'll figure it out. It was a rocky day. He should just check it up as it was a rocky day. I'm a little tired and just move on. Yeah, there's nothing else you can attribute it to.
It's his hometown tournament. I'm sure there's a lot of people pulling him a lot.
Of course, they
ways
want him to
right
win.
now.
Yeah, it's his bag right in his backyard. Like he said, he's played here over 100 times or hundreds of rounds, whatever it is. He's got all the experience in the world. It's just a rough day for him. A lot of pressure. He knows what the number was. Seeing a 13, you know, atop of the leaderboard, bogey free, and then you start out your round, you know, picking up bogeys and stuff. You already know you're behind the 8-ball, so it just puts you in a bad spot already. So it's one of those days. He's just going to have to sweep it under the rug, move on, show up tomorrow, do the best he can, and like you said, full send it, and see where the chips fall.
Yep.
Yep.
That's the play. Let's bring in our man, Terry Miller. And Terry, we talked enough about Ganon. I got to ask you about Simon. I think the most impressive thing I saw today, a really, really rough front 9, and he got a 7-down back 9. What did you see out there on the ground?
You know, it's all about all of these players always battling back, right? Seeing some of these rough or some of these slow starts, and then just knowing at some point, whether it's a particular hole or a putt or a good break, for instance, any one of those things sometimes can kind of just flip that switch, and that's what we know our top players can do. We see all too often some players get out of position or take a big number, and then all of a sudden they're dejected, and then they're just mentally checked out for the rest of the round. Simon maintained, and honestly, even seeing what was on his card, there were some struggles out there. Everyone had their struggles throughout, so battling through it for yourself, but then I think also kind of blocking out the noise, seeing Ganon not play particularly well, seeing that AB, our returning champ, was definitely struggling throughout. I think that was really impressive to see that Simon could say, hey, I'm going to just go ahead and keep things moving and still turn in a respectable round.
Yeah, it was really nice to see.
Absolutely. I saw the same thing out of Simon. I was noticing it as soon as it started to happen when he made that turn onto the back 9. It just, his whole energy went to straight focus. I'm going to go make some birdies and get this into the clubhouse.
What did you see from Gavin Babcock today, Terry? You know, pretty solid day overall. Was leading this very talented feature card for most of the day.
Yeah, I think that's as exciting for him as it could be. I mean, you're playing here in your home state. Obviously, there's so much spotlight and shine on Ganon Buhr, the #1 player in the world, that he also happens to be good friends with. But Gavin probably comes out thinking, hey, you know, I'm from Iowa too. We're playing in our backyard, figuratively. I would love to go out and put on a solid performance. And I think he was doing just that. He didn't keep it going all the way throughout, but just a matter of being here. And it's not like he's new to playing on these cards or to be playing, you know, after having a good round, for instance. So it's not like I was expecting him to crumble or have any struggles. Kind of just seemed like he was just chugging along. Another building block in his career. We'll see what he can do the rest of the weekend. You've got to be thinking, hey, I'd love to get past Ganon. I'd love to have a better performance than Ganon Buhr, you know, because when they get back to the vlogs, there's going to be a little extra ribbing and jabs that take place at that point.
I love that thought, Terry. 10 birdies on the day for Babcock, though. So
That's good stuff.
He was firing them out there. Terry, before I let you go, any parting thoughts on this day one, round one out here at Pickard Park?
Well, a couple quick things. One, I would say just talking to Ganon now, that was one of the most somber Ganons that I've ever seen. Now, he has clearly put himself out in front of everyone else. His level, his ceiling is so high, and we kind of always expect that from him in terms of solid play. That was one of the most kind of calm and quiet Ganons that we've seen, and maybe he's really taking that to heart. I also wouldn't be surprised if he comes back and shoots a pair of 17 unders over the next couple of rounds either, and is right there in contention. But it was interesting to see that it felt like he took this round a little bit more to heart than what I've seen in the past. That's just what I saw, and I could be dead wrong with that, but that's what I felt. And then, you know, Paul mentioned it, and I've kind of been talking about it for the last few days, and I'm sure operations will be talking about it. We don't know what the weather's going to do. This tournament has been cut short on both the MPO and FPO sides over the last few years. It's just something that can happen here. So we're going to continue to watch what tomorrow's weather is going to bring. It's going to be hotter, it's going to be stickier, and then at one point in the forecast it looked absolutely terrible for Sunday. And I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but some players have to be thinking, hey, maybe I need to put down my best round. What if something does get cut short? They maybe will be a little bit more aggressive accordingly. That's, again, just a thought I have. I don't study rocks or weather or the grass or anything like that, but anything could unfold, and we'll see how this weekend shakes out.
I like that little wrinkle there from Terry. It's very true. It's happened before. It could happen
enough
again.
times at this tournament to send people home early.
So, Terry, thank you so much, my man, and we will catch you tomorrow, bright and early.
All right, see you guys tomorrow.
All right, Philo.
Yeah.
What do you got for me?
I got Simon on hole 7, man. OTB shot of the day, the near ace run coming up just short. I thought that could have been the spark that really got things going for Simon. He did pick up a bogey after that, but then after that it was a bunch of green on the scorecard, so I'm going to give it to Simon today.
I'll go with that one. I got nothing.
I can't
nothing
really,
better popping
Nobody
in
really
mind.
did anything
Yeah.
highlight worthy. It was a bunch of solid golf shots. A couple of guys tried to get a little fancy and failed, but you know.
All right, fire
What do they
off
got for us?
That OTP shot of the day. What do you got for us, gents?
Of course it is.
Of course it is. Good call, Philo.
Thank you, sir. That was me. Tried to get the people what they wanted.
Man, that was close.
Ultimate showman.
Simon on the edge of this a couple times today, huh?
Man, he was trying. He was certainly trying to do something cool. Human highlight reel continues. That guy's probably got 5 days worth of highlight reels in his in the archives. Oh my goodness.
That is all we got for day one at Pickard Park on the MPO side, as well as the FPO. For Philo and myself, Terry on the ground, everybody in the booth, all our camera folk, volunteers, tournament directors, we thank you so much for watching and subscribing to the Disc Golf Network. Catch you tomorrow.